Today, we're the 8th best beer state. You want to hear who the best is?
Oh.
Let's just go from 5 down. So
Is
the
it
5th
warmer?
best beer state is
Gotta be warmer.
Columbus, Ohio. That's 5.
What?
Number 4 is Pittsburgh. Really, Pittsburgh?
I've heard good things about Pittsburgh.
And Pittsburgh's actually a pretty city. It's right on the river. It is a pretty cool city. 4 is Pittsburgh. Number 3 is San Diego. So I thought San Diego, they got a lot going for them, but beer. But we have family in San Diego, so we're out there a lot, and they have a couple iconic craft breweries. One's called Ballast, one's called Stone Brewing. So San Diego, anyhow, is number 3. Number 2 is St. Louis, the home of Anheuser-Busch Budweiser.
All right, yeah.
The number 1 city they say for beer in America is Grand Rapids, Michigan.
Okay, that's my old DMA.
Yeah.
I agree.
Good beer scene?
Yeah.
All right, well, they got it. They're number 1 this year.
Interesting.
And we are number 8 in
Very
Milwaukee.
interesting.
It is 3:12 at WTMJ.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News continues with the Slenderman stabbing case. The girl who stabbed her classmate 19 times convicted wants to be released from a mental institution. A stay was put on her conditional release because new information released about the sadistic-themed book that she was reading and more disturbing contacts from the outside. It's 3:13 on WTMJ.
Whatever you want to call this season, we're over it. Time to look forward to
Fly ball, right field. It is deep. It is gone.
spring training is finally here and back on the radio.
It is way gone. Over the batter's eye and out of here for William Contreras.
Make sure to catch our next spring training broadcast as the Brewers take on the A's Thursday at 7:05. Home matter of the season. We are the home of the Brewers. WTMJ.
Do you have a written financial plan? Hi, I'm Aaron Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We have recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move allows us to provide more comprehensive wealth management services to help with all aspects of your finances, including your investments, taxes, estate plan, and more. At Creative Planning, we understand life is busy, and sometimes important things like retirement planning can fall to the wayside. So I'm here to remind you to take time to plan. A 1-hour complimentary consultation with our fiduciary advisors will help you get started on the path to your dream retirement. We will review your current financial situation, your goals and needs, and help you plan for life's what-ifs. Don't delay planning for your future any longer. And even if you already have a plan, a second opinion from our advisors can help determine if there are adjustments to make. Kowal Investment Group is now Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com to get started. That's creativeplanning.com.
Painting your house is a big job. You want it done right. John Mercure here. Do what I did. Go with the professionals, the best in the business at CertaPro Painters. They do inside, they do outside, and they do it right every single time. As a matter of fact, right now, they've got a spring sales event going on through May 15th. Each CertaPro Painters business is independently owned and operated, and they do everything the right way. Schedule your free estimate online right now at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters. Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lonziga. Good afternoon, Debbie.
Yeah, we still have this issue on 41 southbound right at Capitol Drive. The 2 right lanes are blocked with a crash there and delays starting just south of Good Hope Road, stretching all the way past Capitol. Northbound slowing down as well from just north of North Avenue all the way up to Capitol Drive. Southbound 43 still just a little bit tight right through the Marquette. On the northbound sides backing up from just before Fond du Lac Avenue all the way up to Keefe. And on and off the brakes, westbound 94, basically from 16th Street to 27th, and then again right through the Stadium interchange to Mitchell Boulevard. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving time-saver traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, increasing clouds, low 28. Tomorrow, a little bit of light snow, mostly south of the city, a high of 37. Saturday, partly cloudy, 43. Sunday, mostly sunny, a high of 50. Monday, sunny, mild, a high of 56 degrees. It's currently 38. Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast is sponsored by Dave Drake-Camp Heating. Your comfort is your family's tradition. Visit davedrakecamp.com.
At 3:16, the Waukesha woman who was convicted when she was 12 years old of luring her 6th grade classmates into the woods, then stabbing her 19 times to please a fictional character named Slenderman, wants to be released from a mental institution. She was sentenced to 40 years in the mental institution. Morgan Geyser. At the time, she had told people she thought she could talk to Harry Potter characters and thought she had Vulcan mind control like Spock from the movie Star Trek or the show Star Trek. She was diagnosed with schizophrenia, extremely rare at the time in young children. Her lawyer and family have been trying to get her released from the mental institution for years, arguing to the judge that she's better. Many people testifying, doctors, psychologists, she no longer has schizophrenia. A Waukesha County judge ordered her conditional release from Winnebago Mental Health Institute last month. So it was going to happen. It came to a very swift halt when a judge put a stay on that order. The latest ruling follows concerns that were raised by Winnebago Mental Health Institute workers, where Geyser's been held. They filed a petition citing concerns about a book she was reading. The book was thought to be by Stephen King. It is not. It's called Rent Boy, and it contains themes of sexual sadism, graphic content, according to the petition argued in court.
Did you have concerns about the fact that Ms. Geyser had read that book?
I did.
Why?
Because it was a dark novel that revolved around murder and the selling of body parts on the black market, along with sexual sadism.
How did Ms. Geyser react when she was informed the treatment team and conditional release team would be monitoring her reading material?
She was upset.
Did she say why?
She didn't feel it was necessary for the team to oversee things that she used as coping skills and a creative outlet.
So she's in this institution, John. How did she get the book? Not from the library, like a lot of the workers thought. The team first thought that. She got it through the mail, and the court still doesn't know who sent it to her. Then the defense just asked this within this past hour.
You do know that she read Rent Boy, obviously, because you mentioned it, right? But the reason we know that is because Morgan brought it up as part of the release planning.
Yes.
And that's important because it's not like you found it hidden somewhere in her. It's not like Winnebago found it hidden somewhere, right?
We asked her to provide us with a list of books that she would like to read, and she had brought up that she was reading Rent Boy. She stated that she didn't want to tell the conditional release team the kind of book she was reading because she was afraid that we wouldn't allow them because they were kind of dark, I think was the way she described it.
Cotton says that she should be commended, that's Morgan Geyser's defense attorney, for not concealing any of this. There's also concern about contact with a man outside the hospital who has an unnatural interest in her crime, according to the court. We found that she had sent letters back and forth to this man, including drawings. So if you text WATCH to 855-616-1620, WATCH to the Siding Unlimited talk and text line, you can see one of the photos that was sent to this man. It looks like some type of monster with long fingers that look almost like roots going into the ground.
Yep.
I don't know what it is, but it's written in her
It looks like the head is
writing.
chopped off the monster.
Oh my gosh. And that's blood splurting.
Yep. Blood spurting out where
Oh
the
my
head would be. That's
gosh.
blood shooting out of the neck, it looks
I
like.
can't even tell what the heck this
Oh,
is. It
that's-
says they crumble as they crawl.
Yep.
Okay, that's not good. That's even worse. That's really bad. If you want to see it, you can text WATCH. If you don't have to do that. But we found that she had sent those drawings to this man and letters, and he was trying to sell her drawings on Facebook
Wow.
to the masses. He was calling it the Slender Man package.
We found that there were letters and drawings that she had sent him, a postcard, and he was selling them. He was selling the items.
Were you able to see the drawings that he was purporting were from Ms. Geyser?
Yes.
Were they concerning to you?
Yes.
Why?
They were very dark in nature. I would describe it as a horror type picture.
So, how do you defend this? Here's Morgan Geyser's defense attorney.
But you were also aware of the fact that Miss Geyser has been drawing disturbing things for a long time. And Dr. Lumbaum was aware of that when she suggested that Morgan was appropriate to be released, aren't you?
That's the report.
This is not new. Her doing a disturbing drawing is not a new fact at all. Agreed?
Agreed.
Okay. So we'll put that to the side.
Says we'll put that to the side. So he's trying to pick everything. There's going to be a few more witnesses that are still on the stand, John. I think this will go through 6 o'clock possibly
Wow.
tonight. Okay. They also learned that there's a lot of concern over the sexual behavior of the communication.
Did you learn any information about JP that was concerning as it related to sexual behavior?
Yes.
And what was that?
She recalled that he would get sexual gratification from her index offense, and I believe that there were letters written back and forth.
Geiser says she gave up this information, that he came to visit her, and that Morgan herself stopped the contact. Morgan's lawyer revealing in court that the man was obsessed with true crime in this case and was at one time a law enforcement officer, a corrections officer. Whoa. He was in law enforcement. Geiser's defense attorney correcting the record that he's been in the visitor log since 2022, so this is nothing new.
The records at Winnebago reflect the fact that he was a known visitor to their facility.
Yes.
So he keeps on kind of correcting it. So Cotton is doing a good job from what I've observed in the past hour and a half that I've been watching this, John. He argued that she is safe for release, citing the institution's controlled access, knowledge of visitors, ability to monitor meetings, and he says it feels like a hit job at the last minute. So the motion hearing is still happening. I was trying to say what the judge ruled. I don't know. It's still going on. He's still listening.
Yep.
So there was another conviction in this case, just so you know. The other one was the friend, Anissa Weier. She was convicted of luring the victim, Peyton Lautner, into the park, then into the woods. Back in 2012, Weier was convicted of urging Geiser to stab the victim and left her for dead. In 2021, Weier was granted conditional release to be with her father. And the GPS monitor was just removed in 2023, but she's still on supervised release. So talking really quickly about the victim in this case, Peyton Lautner. She survived after she was stabbed 19 times, just 12 years old. Imagine this, 6th grader. Because of her strong will to live, she crawled bleeding to a bike path where a Good Samaritan found her in Waukesha, called 911. Here's the victim's parents speaking about her bravery on ABC.
Did you ever think you would get her to where she is today?
She had so much determination to not be defined by this event and not be the girl who was stabbed, that I really think that it's her determination to live a different kind of life. That's what's gotten us here.
What she has taught me is strength and will, just the sheer will to get through anything.
So that's what the story should really be about, is this victim and the victim's resilience. But we still have to wait and see if this person that was convicted when she was just in 6th grade of stabbing her, nearly killing her, came within a few inches of her heart.
Well, stabbed 19 times. That's a lot of trauma. So our newsroom is continuing to monitor the situation. The hearing, as Julia mentioned, is still going on. We are on top of this story. We'll bring you the very latest as it happens throughout the afternoon here on WTMJ, or you can always find it WTMJ.com or the WTMJ mobile app. On this Thursday, let's check the markets. NASDAQ enters formal correction territory. Stocks are getting clobbered today. Uncertainty over the tariffs, not a good thing. The Dow is off 427. The NASDAQ's off 483. The S&P today dropped 104 points. Annex Wealth Management know the difference.
Broadway's smash hit, the Neil Diamond musical, A Beautiful Noise, is coming to Milwaukee. The true story of a kid from Brooklyn, destined for something more, featuring all the songs you love, including America, Forever in Blue Jeans, and Sweet Caroline. Like Jersey Boys and Beautiful, the next musical mega hit is here. The Neil Diamond musical, A Beautiful Noise, March 25th through 30th at the Marcus Center. On sale now at marcuscenter.org.
Many times, patients have symptoms they didn't know were actually related to their airway breathing issues.
I was suffering from sinus issues, jaw issues, and neck pain. I guess I just kind of had my breaking point.
Unfortunately, this is typical. But until you get to the root of your problem, it's going to just persist. Fortunately, Jody took action, and the results were typical as well.
My quality of life is so different, but one of the first things that I noticed was my breathing. I don't ever remember being able to breathe like that.
Being able to breathe freely is life-changing, and the effects can go beyond that.
Sleeping better, having more energy, and it seemed as if all of those symptoms that I had just melted away.
And thank heavens for that, because at Advent, results are what drive us, helping you breathe well so you can live better.
Results may vary. Most insurance accepted.
Hey, John Mercure here for Town Bank. Are you sick of not being your bank's top priority? Do you ever get that feeling like you're just another customer, you're just another number, it doesn't matter to you? I don't feel that way because I bank at Town Bank. Town Bank is the best thing going. They take a different approach to banking all the way around. They're going to take care of you, whether that banking is online or in the bank itself, and I do both. They are proud at Town Bank to be your one true banking partner focused on your unique financial goals, and they're right in your backyard. Whether you're opening your first account, buying a home, planning for the future, or starting a business, maybe you're selling a business. At Town Bank, they have tailored solutions to help get you there. So stop settling and start experiencing a better way to bank. It's Town Bank, part of the Wintrust family of community banks. Check out the website, townbank.us, for more information. It's a different approach. It's better results. It's Wisconsin's bank. It's Town Bank. It's Town Bank. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSAY.com. That's ANSAY.com.
According to the Census Bureau, more than 12,000 Americans are turning 65 each day. It's a surge they call Peak 65, the highest number in history. 65 is traditional retirement age because it matches up with Medicare, but Gallup found 61 is the average retirement age. Some Annex clients retire early, but we also have clients working at 70 because they love what they do. You know why? Because they've got plans built by fee-only fiduciaries, plans custom-tailored to their lifestyle. They identify their wants and needs, and we went to work building investment, retirement, tax, and estate plans in their best interest. Proper retirement planning doesn't start the week before you retire. Having a focused plan built by our in-house teams will go a long way in helping you reach the retirement you desire. It all starts with the conversation you probably already have in the back of your mind. It's time to put that into action and contact Annex. Financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. Visit AnnexWealth.com and click the Get Started button.
If you're living with joint pain in your shoulders, hips, elbows, and knees, and you have Medicare or Medicaid insurance, coming to Rejuvenex to solve your pain problems is something you should strongly consider. First off, because our FDA-approved pain treatments have been shown in many cases to be highly effective at reducing inflammation and substantially alleviating pain. Secondly, Medicare and Medicaid cover Rejuvenex treatments, so your cost could be nothing, or next to nothing at all. Chronic pain will only worsen with age. This leads to a far more compromised lifestyle, depression, and soon they start talking surgery. And then what? You have to get in front of arthritis and chronic pain, because the sooner you do, by letting us begin to calm those pain points, the better. I'm Rejuvenex founder Richard Salinas, and we can alleviate your pain so you can rejuvenate your life.
Rejuvenex. Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to Rejuvenex.com to request your free pain evaluation.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. For convenient car shopping and financing, visit Heiser Automotive Group at one of their 4 locations, Toyota, Chevy, Ford, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Or visit Heiser.com, because today's your day.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 3:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: a teen charged for stabbing his mother to death.
I'm Julia Fellow, postponing tariffs again.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Southbound on 41 still have this accident at Capitol Drive, still blocking the 2 right lanes. It's going to be slow pretty much from before Good Hope Road all the way to that point. Everybody on the northbound side slowing down to take a look. So before Mayfair Road, you're going to start to see those brake lights, and they're going to take you all the way up to Capitol Drive. We've also got a crash on 894 southbound, right about at Beloit Road's ramp. The right shoulder is blocked with that one. Northbound 43, seeing delays out of the Marquette all the way to Keefe. Southbound slow from Capitol Drive down to Locust, and then back on the brakes from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette interchange. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Clouds increase, a low of 28 tonight. Tomorrow, light snow south of 94 is possible. Mostly cloudy, a high of 37 degrees. Right now it's sunny and 38 degrees in Milwaukee.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we're following a pair of high-profile court appearances today. Slenderman stabber Morgan Geyser is back in a Waukesha County court as the State Department of Health Services petitions to stop her conditional release. A judge has ordered the same three medical experts who testified at Geyser's January hearing to conduct new psychological evaluations.
And earlier this afternoon, a plea hearing in Milwaukee for one of four men connected to the death of a man outside a downtown Milwaukee hotel. Brandon Turner has pled guilty to the death of Devontae Mitchell. He's one of three suspects who are accepting a plea deal earlier this year. The other two, Herbert Williamson and Devin Johnson Carson, will return to court later this month. The fourth suspect, Todd Erickson, heads to trial later this summer. Turner's sentencing is scheduled for the fall.
A 15-year-old accused of stabbing his mother to death in their Caledonia home is charged with first-degree intentional homicide. Reed Galinsky's been charged in adult court in the death of his mother earlier this week. Bond has been set at $1 million. He'll be back in court for a review tomorrow.
The latest Marquette Law School poll shows many Wisconsin voters are not familiar with the candidates in the upcoming April 1st ballot.
In the Wisconsin Supreme Court race, 38% of people don't have an opinion on Brad Schimmel compared to 58% not having an opinion on Susan Crawford. But over 80% of voters say they are aware that the election would tip the perceived partisan balance on the court. Greg Matzik, WTMJ News.
For State Superintendent of Public Instruction, even higher percentages of lack of opinions for incumbent Jill Underly and her opponent Brittany Kinzer.
A lawsuit targeting the city of Madison and Dane County focuses on 193 absentee votes that were discovered in sealed bags after the 2024 election.
The lawsuit filed Thursday by Law Forward identifies $175,000 in harm to individual voters in Madison and Dane County. Earlier this year, the Elections Commission began an investigation as to whether or not City Clerk Maribeth Witzel-Bell failed to comply with the law regarding the ballots. Commissioner Don Millis.
My biggest concern here is why it took a month and a half for this to come out. And that's very, very disturbing.
The city of Madison has declined to comment on the pending litigation. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
The Trump administration today suspended tariffs against Mexico until April 2nd. Speaking to reporters at the White House this afternoon, the president stressed the power of tariffs.
The countries and companies that have been ripping us aren't particularly happy with what I'm doing. But the United States will be very happy. And, our farmers are going to be very happy. And again, there'll be disruption.
The president said he isn't even looking at the market as he makes tariff decisions.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. The Brewers put pitcher DL Hall on the 60-day injured list, and the Brewers take on the A's in Cactus League action tonight. Coverage begins after the 7 o'clock news on WTMJ. Plus, tournament basketball in Milwaukee tonight as the Panthers host Oakland in the Horizon League tournament. You can hear the game on 101.7 The Truth beginning at 7 o'clock.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 3:34.
Febreze.
Fabric Talk. Hello, my love. I am your living room carpet. I see everything. I feel everything. After a while, I smell like everything, including Sir Pickles, who you snuggle with while binging that dating show you can't stop watching. So, how about we freshen things up with Febreze Fabric Spray? Oh, and a big spray for my pals, couch and ottoman. Ah, yes, refreshing. Breathe happy, Febreze. La 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 la.
Did you know your skin is the largest organ of your body? Huh? That's why you should shower with Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash instead of plain old bar soap. Love your skin by super hydrating it with vitamin B3 and glorious notes of vanilla and shea. Did you know that my super hydrated skin is the second largest organ of my body? The first is my heart. Old Spice. Men have skin too. Old Spice Super Hydration Body Wash. 24/7 renewing moisture. With daily use.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
3:35 on WTMJ. Happy Friday Eve. I don't know if you have ginseng often, but I do as a supplement.
Yeah.
It's an incredible plant.
Yep.
It's been used in medicinal purposes for thousands of years for boosted energy, improving your brain and immune health. It thrives in a Goldilocks zone. Maybe you don't know this, of 43 to 45 degrees latitude. And that's from about Milwaukee to Wausau. So it's pretty cool.
Perfect.
With the 10% tariff against China, Will Su of Su Ginseng Farm in Wausau worries about more retaliatory tariffs. How much of what you grow goes to Asia or China?
I would say of the total Wisconsin ginseng crop, 90% up to 95% of Wisconsin's ginseng crop is sold in China. That would include Taiwan and Hong Kong.
So, how is this impacting your business? I mean, does it start? I guess it starts right now, right? As soon as you start shipping it out?
Yeah, but it started back in 2018 during the first phase of this trade war. And so the tariffs starting back in 2018 with the first phase of the trade war haven't been repealed since then. So we've been dealing with this now for 7 years, and it's just a continuation of the status quo. Maybe it's gotten worse because we're escalating it again after a few years of not really changing anything and not de-escalating either. But we seem to be ramping up the tariffs again on both sides.
Okay, so get us up to date on what happened in 2018 to refresh everybody's memory.
Yeah, so in 2018, tariffs on ginseng went from roughly 12 or 13% to as high as 43%. And then in the final stages of Trump's first presidency, he negotiated a deal that repealed the last 10%, meaning Chinese importers could ask for an exemption for the final 10% of tariffs that were charged on ginseng imported into China prior to him leaving office. So that brought the rate down to about 32 or 33%, where it stands to this day. I haven't seen the latest release on which products and which categories of agriculture will be have a retaliatory tariff placed on them by China, and whether or not that includes ginseng. But currently it's 33%.
So you're feeling the brunt of the 33%.
Yeah, what we've seen is prices here decrease since 2018 by roughly that tariff. Tariff in some ways has been passed back to the farmers, and this is one way countries deal with tariffs, is they push back on the suppliers or the vendors or the producers, in this case ginseng, and ask them to basically subsidize the tariff, to take a lower price on the goods so that the consumer in the importing country doesn't have to pay more. I'm sure that's the intent with some of Trump's proposed tariffs to Canada, Mexico, and China, is that he's hoping that those producers in those countries will either take a lower price for their product to offset the tariff, or that they will come to the negotiating table and hammer out a new deal.
So the tariff that you're dealing with is 33%. Now that there's the 10% tariff against China, how much more could the retaliatory go up to again?
It would be back up to that prior level of back in 2022 of 42.5%, or 2021 of 42.5% or 43%.
How do you deal with that if it's at 43% tariff?
You don't import as much to China, and you don't export it. You don't import as much into China, and you don't export as much to China. That's really how you deal with it. The idea, I think, is to try to bring people to the negotiating table, or have exporters find new markets. That might work for some products that we make here in the U.S. that are appealing to people all over the world. Unfortunately, ginseng in particular, the major customer for ginseng is Chinese consumers. We're down to fewer than 85 families or farmers here in central Wisconsin growing ginseng. When I came back to the business 15 years ago in 2011, we had over 250 farms and farmers growing
Oh my
ginseng in central Wisconsin.
goodness. Wow, that's a huge decrease. So it's 90% of your business. So how are you going to pivot? There is none for you.
So I think what you're seeing, what has happened over the last 6 or 7 years since the first phase of the trade war, is you are seeing a gradual decline in the numbers, or actually not even a gradual, market decline in the number of farmers growing ginseng, and also a lesser decline in the actual output and production, because this crop takes 4 to 5 years to reach maturity. So it's harder to cut production immediately. But you are going to see farmers, and we have seen farmers planting fewer and fewer acres, and there's fewer and fewer farmers. So the overall supply goes down to try to offset the decrease in demand caused by the artificial price levels caused by tariffs. So it's basic economics that all of us took in college, which is if you put in an artificial price increase, namely tariffs, then the supply and demand equilibrium will have to balance out. And the supply, as the demand decreases due to the higher prices caused by tariffs overseas, then you have to reduce supply. And that's what we're seeing.
Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, I think in general, most of us are producing less. We are selling less. We have fewer staff. We are just shrinking as an industry. My biggest concern, having come back to this and not being my dad's age, my dad's 82 and retired, being, in my 40s, is there's really not a future in this industry for us, and we may just have to go find something else to do.
Oh, I hate to hear that, because I interviewed your dad back more than 10 years ago in 2009, and
we've been doing
loves
this for
you.
50 years.
Wow.
My
That
dad
is so hard to
started this
hear.
business in 1974, and but family farms in Wisconsin are disappearing, and this is part of that as agriculture has changed, as industries have gotten bigger, as corporations have gotten larger and involved in agriculture. Family farms such as ours just become less relevant and less needed, especially when you start talking about it at the international level on things that we can't impact. I can't change our foreign policy. I can't change our trade policy. We can grow the best ginseng in the world, but if we can't get it into consumers' hands, it doesn't matter.
I'll leave it with this. What do you hope happens with the trade war in China?
I hope that we return to some normalcy, but I'm not optimistic. I think we are entering an era where kind of liberal trade policy and free trade isn't the mantra of the Republican Party and really isn't the mantra of the United States. So we're retrenching. We're trying to bring jobs back to the United States and bolster the local economy, which is great for the United States and for workers here in the United States. But unfortunately, those of us who are dependent on exports, dependent on foreign markets, it likely means there's not much of a future in it, at least for this generation and possibly the next generation.
Wow. Will Su with the Su Ginseng Farm in Wausau, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
And we will be following the story and how it affects all of us here in Wisconsin as the days and weeks progress.
Coming up next, major problems in Wisconsin prisons in the last week. As a matter of fact, another inmate in Waupun just died this week. Perspective from the Dodge County Sheriff, Dale Schmidt, with us live up next.
We get it. You're on the go, and life gets in the way. Stay up to date on all things WTMJ with podcasts of every show. Available on WTMJ.com. And don't forget you can stream WTMJ online and watch your favorite WTMJ shows on YouTube. Every show, when you want it, no matter where you are. We are Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio 620 WTMJ.
Hey, my dogs are great dogs. They're better dogs now because of Sit Means Sit dog training. Bella and Baxter, we have a new person watching the dogs. So she came to the house the other day, and I got to admit, in the past, I would have been nervous. Like, oh my gosh, what kind of impression are they going to leave? Oh my God, will she still want to watch the dogs? Well, Bella and Baxter were better. They were good when she came over because of Sit Means Sit dog training. They know how to sit. They know how to listen. They know how to behave themselves. Now, they still get really excited, but Sit Means Sit has taught them how to be better dogs, and our house is a better place. And guess what? She said yes, she's going to watch the dogs. It's Sit Means Sit dog training.
When Blaine's Farm and Fleet was founded 70 years ago, selling goods at a discount wasn't the norm. The Blaine brothers helped pioneer a new era in retail, and we've helped supply Midwest farms and families with quality products at unbeatable prices ever since. Like 5 quarts of Valvoline full synthetic motor oil, $20.99 after mail-in rebate, and select DeWalt sump pumps, $224.99. All other sump pumps are 10% off. In store or online, we've got the value you need to do things your way. Blaine's Farm and Fleet. Be an original.
The biggest boat sale of the year happens at the Waukesha Expo Center March 7th through 9th. Announcing the Milwaukee Metro Boat Sale. Over 60 boats on display. Pontoons, triple tunes, deck boats, fishing and bow riders, even used boats. All in one place at one time. The best brands and the best prices, all priced to sell now with guaranteed spring delivery. So bring along your checkbook and the title to your trade and get the deal of a lifetime. Free admission and parking, details at centerpointmarine.com. The Milwaukee Metro Boat Sale at the Waukesha Expo. Be there!
No matter how many people are in your family, buying new jackets for the cold weather months can be expensive. But when you shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, prices on cold weather jackets will give you a sigh of relief because thrift store prices mean great deals. And right now we have a great selection. Find great deals on cold weather jackets for the family at St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Imagine all the things you dream of under one roof. You're thinking of eBay. Fashion, collectibles, car parts. It's all there. Go find the thing that keeps you up at night. eBay. Things people love. This report sponsored by Exterior Pros and Baths. Trust the pros and kick off your home transformation. Ready to tackle your home improvement project this winter? Exterior Pros and Baths is here to help you score big with quality home exterior and shower upgrades. Visit extpros.com today.
Traffic and weather begins with Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey, John. Southbound 41 continuing with this accident at Capitol Drive. That one just got cleared out of the way, the one that was blocking the two right lanes. But we also have an accident now at Hampton Avenue with the left shoulder blocked. Delays still sticking around from before Good Hope Road down past that scene to Capitol. Northbound's backed up from just north of Wisconsin Avenue all the way up to Capitol Drive. Another one on 894 southbound right about at Beloit Road off on the right shoulder. As far as regular delays are concerned, we have the usual westbound 94 from 20th Street to Mitchell Boulevard. Southbound 43 a little bit slow from south of Capitol Drive down to Locust, and then from Fond du Lac Avenue down through the Marquette. On the northbound side from the Marquette, pretty much solid all the way up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight: increasing clouds, a low of 28. Tomorrow, a chance of light snow south of 94. Mostly cloudy for everybody else, high of 37. Saturday, cloudy, a high of 43 degrees. 50 degrees sunny and 50 degrees sunny and mild on Sunday. Monday, mostly sunny and mild, a high of 56.
Hey, check out our podcast. We podcast everything, including this upcoming conversation with the Sheriff, Dale Schmidt. Text the word WAN to 855-616-1620. And the Wisconsin Afternoon News Podcast is sponsored by Dave Drakemp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit davedrakemp.com. Sheriff Dale Schmidt, the guy in charge of Dodge County, is with us. Sheriff, you're in charge of the whole county. I just promoted you. Congratulations.
Well, thank you, sir. I very much appreciate it.
Hey, it's good to have you with us. I really want to get your perspective as a law enforcement expert, a guy who deals with this sort of thing all the time. What's happening in our prisons, Waupun is right in your backyard there, and the 7th inmate has died there. In Green Bay, they want to shut down that old prison there. Can you give us some perspective when you think about the prison system in Wisconsin and what needs help, what needs to change? What thoughts come to mind for you?
Well, first, let me qualify this by saying that every criminal act that occurs within the prisons within Dodge County, and there are 4 of them, including Waupun Correctional, John Burke, Dodge Correctional, Fox Lake Correctional, every significant crime that happens, my agency investigates. We have an agreement with the DOC that I take care of all of them because they fall in Dodge County. So when a death occurs within these prisons, my investigators investigate those. When crimes occur, my detectives take care of this. And I also run a jail of 450 people. So I have significant corrections experience as well. So when I talk about this, it's because we're in the prisons. We know what's going on in there. And if you recall last summer, we had a pretty significant investigation into the first 4 deaths. And as a result of that, we arrested 9 people, including one of the wardens. And it was pretty big deal. And at the time, I made several recommendations. Some of those recommendations including the closure or renovation of Green Bay and Waupun Correctional, the 2 oldest prisons in the state of Wisconsin, because they simply cannot safely house inmates, and really they're not facilities that are set up for staff to effectively monitor these staff and put them in a really tough position. And I also gave recommendations that the prisons need to be inspected. Every jail in the state of Wisconsin is inspected by the Department of Corrections. Not one of the prisons in the state of Wisconsin are inspected. The wardens are responsible for making sure they're maintaining that. You need to have an outside source come in and do those things. That's how you get better, and it's not happening. And state law requires that the jails are, but state law does not require that the prisons do. So there's a number of serious issues here. I know the governor came out with a recent plan to try and change some things. He's got some good stuff in there, but he's got some really dumb things in there as well. It really requires releasing 9,000 people out of the prisons to really make his plan work the way that it should, and that just won't work.
Interesting on the review of how everything's doing with the wardens. I didn't know that.
So let me ask you, Sheriff, you're a law and order guy. You don't mess around. If people do bad things, you believe they should be locked up. The recommendations to close the prisons, what would happen? Do we need to build new prisons? What do we do with all the bad guys?
They got to be closed, but if they're closed, they need to be replaced. It's close and replace or renovate. And when you're looking at Green Bay Correctional, they're looking at just outright closing that and just moving it around in the facilities they have. You may not know this, but right now, as of today, the Department of Corrections is 5,400 people above capacity. They're predicted, the secretary put out a memo to his staff, 2 years from now, they're going to be 6,400 people above capacity. You close Green Bay Correctional, you're taking 750 more beds away. Where are you going to put these people? That's just a ludicrous idea that the governor has to do this. And you can't do that without releasing a ton of people into the community that aren't ready to go out there. And on top of that, you have a probation and parole system that, I'm sorry, but the agents that work in this division are fantastic. They do a great job, don't get me wrong, but they are so understaffed. They cannot manage people on probation and parole. The people that I talk to in the public who are on parole, who are on probation, tell me it's a joke, because they can get away with whatever they want to out in the community right now because there's not enough people to supervise them. So that they get away with whatever they want to do. And the probation agents are frustrated. And now you want to put more people out on early release under their supervision. That's not going to fly. That's not going to work. You have to renovate these buildings or replace them with something else that gives you more capacity, not less.
I mean, 5,400 over capacity. What are we going to turn into? California, where we just release people early? Is that maybe the only option if they don't renovate?
That is what they're proposing. They're proposing to do an early work release program that people can get out up to 4 years early. And they're claiming that with proper treatment and things like that, you can do that. You can rehabilitate them. Well, that's all well and good, but I'm here to tell you that our recidivism rate in the state of Wisconsin is 37%, about average in the country, 37%. So 37 out of 100 people that we release from prison go back. Those statistics are not going to allow us to reduce the prison population just by putting people into additional treatment options. And again, when you release them early, you're releasing them early, and the probation and parole agents are the ones that have to keep an eye on them till the end of their sentence. They don't have the capacity to do it, and you're setting the system up for even more failure and even more crime. And you're right, I am a law and order guy. If you do something wrong in the community, I'm going to arrest you. I'm going to put you in jail. And when you release more into the community, that puts the burden back on me as the sheriff, because now I have to go find ways to get these people back into custody when they shouldn't have been released in the first place, when they commit more crimes.
The Vice President, J.D. Vance, is at the border, Mr. Sheriff, and he's talking about how things have clamped down a little bit there, but there are still problems. You're involved with ICE operations, and you guys house ICE people up in your neck of the woods. What's your view on what's happening at the border and how it's changed in the last 6 weeks?
Well, we still have them here. The problem, it's outstanding what the president and vice president are doing down at the border. The border is far more secure than it was just back in December. Back in December, it was 1,800 people a day coming across the border, or gotaways across the border. Now it's down under 200 a day. That's an incredible reduction in the amount of gotaways that are getting through, and that's great. But the problem is there's so many people, so many criminals in our backyard right now. I'm having conversation with sheriffs around the state about the Tren de Aragua gang. They're here in Wisconsin, the ones that invaded the apartment complex out in Aurora, Colorado, that were invading people down in Chicago. There's rumors that they're in Whitewater. There's rumors that they're trying to come up into my county, and it's a real threat that we have right now, not because of the current administration, but because what's been going on for the last 4 years. Millions of people coming across that border. fentanyl is killing people left and right on our streets, and it's still happening. Not because they've shut it down. That's great. It'd be great for the future, but because it's already here, and now we have to try and deal with that. Thankfully, the pipeline is shut off, but now we have to deal with the fallout of what has happened, and it's going to take a long time for us to be able to recover. I give the current administration a lot of credit. They're going after people who are not supposed to be here, getting them in custody. Problem is we don't have enough beds for them. We're running out of beds for places for them to go, and I know that's a real problem. But that just shows how dedicated the ICE personnel, how much Tom Homan is really putting his money where his mouth is and getting things done.
Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt, always good to have you on, Sheriff. Thank you.
Yes.
Thanks for having me, and have a great day.
You too. It's 3:56.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The renovation of Northwestern Mutual's North Office Tower is proceeding on pace, with the $500 million project set to be complete by early 2027. Right now, crews are putting up a glass curtain wall, and the building's parking structure should be done this year. More than 100 contractors are helping with the job. The founding CEO of the Water Council is stepping down after 15 years. Dean Amhouse helped start the organization, which has helped raise the area's stature as a water technology hub. The council has launched a national search to find his replacement. Artificial intelligence is growing in importance in Milwaukee, and the local college is helping train the workforce who will use that technology. Carroll University is launching a major in the subject, with students taking classes in applied machine learning, data visualization, programming, and robotics. I'm Timothy Gibbons with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Are you on track to achieve your retirement plans? Hi, I'm Jeff Kowal of Kowal Investment Group. We've recently joined Creative Planning, a national registered investment advisor. This move to Creative expands our ability to provide comprehensive wealth management, investment advisory, and retirement planning services. Now is the time to put your lifetime of hard work into action. For over 37 years, we've helped clients toward making their retirement dreams become a reality, and we'd like to help you too. And the best part, your plan will be completely tailored to you. Our in-house team of specialists will take the time to learn about you and your family, review your current situation, and find out what your goals are. Then we'll design a plan to help you get there. To get started, request your free meeting today with one of our fiduciary advisors by visiting creativeplanning.com. Whether you have met with us in the past or this will be your first meeting with us, we're excited to introduce Kowal Investment Group to you as Creative Planning. Visit creativeplanning.com today.
I love my water. I drink a lot of water at home, and I know the water is crisp, clean, clear thanks to Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning. The water is absolutely fantastic. They know that better water makes a big difference, and it really, really does. Whether it's for the dogs, whether it's for cooking, whether it's for drinking, you want your water to be where it should be. And the water in the shower, fantastic. The Guthrie and Fry Water Softener is top tier. They even bring the salt down to the basement. Comprehensive, reliable products and services, fixed rental rates. Rob and Sue, generous in the community, train up their people to do things the right way every day. Outstanding people and great results. Southeast Wisconsin's #1 choice, and my choice is Guthrie and Fry Water Conditioning.
Insulate your home and save big money at Menards. Owens Corning Pink Foamular insulation panels provide a continuous layer of insulation with superior moisture resistance and are available in many sizes to complete your project. Plus, save up to 30% with federal income tax credits on qualifying energy efficiency home improvements. Visit menards.com/energy rebates for details. Check out our weekly flyer on menards.com for all the great deals happening now.
Save big money at Menards.
Are you ready to embark on a voyage like no other? At Fox World Travel, our specialty cruise desk creates unforgettable cruise experiences just for you. Explore the serene Mediterranean, the exotic Caribbean, or the breathtaking beauty of Alaska. We partner with top cruise lines including Celebrity, Holland America, Royal Caribbean, and Viking. Enjoy personalized itineraries, exclusive deals, and expert guidance. From booking to boarding, we manage all the details for a stress-free experience. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO, press 2, and mention code radio to start planning.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Traffic is sponsored by the Heiser Automotive Group. Come in and make that deal. Visit Heiser Automotive Group with 4 convenient locations or online at heiser.com. Ford, Chevy, Toyota, Lincoln, and Cadillac. Today's your day.
Breaking news as it happens. Stay up to date with your trusted and relevant source in news, sports, traffic, and weather. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ, Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Your top story, pushing to stop the release of a Slender Man stabber.
I'm Julia Fellow. A pause was pressed on some tariffs.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. Well, now that we got all of the accidents taken care of on 41 southbound, we are clear of accidents, but the delays are still working themselves out. So delays from before Appleton Avenue, or actually before Good Hope Road, all the way down past Capitol. Northbound's going to be slow from Blue Mound Road up to Capitol Drive. Southbound 43, we got some backups basically from Capitol Drive all the way down over the high-rise bridge. Same thing on the northbound side. Those delays stretch all the way up to Keith. Westbound 94, backups from 20th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Eastbound slowing down from 76th Street to Hawley Road. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, increasing clouds, low of 28. Tomorrow, a little bit of light snow, a high of 37. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, the push to stop the release of Slender Man stabbing defendant Morgan Geyser continues this afternoon. A judge has ordered the same 3 medical experts who testified at Geyser's January hearing to conduct new evaluations. Earlier this year, the court ruled that she should be released from custody. In 2017, Geyser was found not guilty by reason of mental defect for stabbing her 12-year-old friend and leaving her for dead.
The petition to revoke Geyser's conditional release focuses on 2 items, her reading materials and a man.
The team preparing Morgan Geyser's conditional release plan recently learned she was reading the book Rent Boy by Gary Indiana. It's a novel that includes themes of sex, comedy, and murder. The team also learned about a man named Jeffrey Pagel who had contact with Geyser. He went to see her 3 times at the Winnebago Mental Health Institute. They also exchanged letters, and Pagel is accused of trying to sell some of her drawings. The team says they're now concerned there's an unknown risk in releasing Geyser. Geyser's defense says she's broken no rules. Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
A 15-year-old accused of stabbing his mother to death in their Caledonia home is charged with first-degree reckless homicide. Reed Galensky's been charged in adult court, and bond has been set at $1 million.
The president signed executive orders officially delaying tariffs on Mexico by a month. Speaking from the Oval Office, the president denied the tariffs were the cause for the market turmoil.
Countries and companies that have been ripping us aren't particularly happy with what I'm doing. But the United States will be very happy. And, you know, our farmers are going to be very happy. And again, there'll be disruption.
The latest rollback on tariffs was not enough to ease concerns of Wall Street. All 3 major indexes closed down for the day for the 3rd time this week.
We've got a winner at the U.S. Cheese Championships in Green Bay. The aged Gouda made by Arethusa Fair Farm in Bantam, Connecticut, won. Runner-ups included a St. Malachi, that's an aged Gouda made by the farm at Doe Run in Pennsylvania, and a Parmesan cheese made by Lake Country Dairy Schumann Cheese in Turtle Lake, Wisconsin. 31 U.S. states competed in this year's championship with 55 best-of-class finishes earned by Wisconsin master cheesemakers.
So Wisconsin number 3. That's good.
Yeah.
They should be number 1. Coming up, stealing thousands of dollars worth of one popular toy.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:04.
This report is sponsored by Siding Unlimited. It's siding and a whole lot more. SidingUnlimited.com.
They did it again. Best of the best in the whole USA. Wisconsin's very own Siding Unlimited. Local and family-owned Siding Unlimited has won their 5th National Pella Platinum Premier Certified Contractor of the Year award. Siding Unlimited has been installing Pella windows and doors for over 30 years and doing it the right way. Top-notch installation by their very own amazing craftsmen. Homeowners rave about their beautiful windows, easy to open and energy-efficient Pellas with an unmatched warranty, and about the excellence of Siding Unlimited's installation experience. Peace of mind, durability, function, daily job cleanup. You need great new windows installed the right way. You need Siding Unlimited. SidingUnlimited.com.
If you're trying to find really good, high-end, distinctive furniture, the kind they just don't make anymore, then come to Design Exchange. But you better get here quickly, because the best furniture we take in on consignment doesn't usually last long. It may be vintage, it may have once been out of your range, but now you'll find it's priced right. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:06.
A man described as a serial Lego thief is being charged with stealing thousands of dollars worth of popular toys.
The accused Lego larcenist would go into Target stores, fill shopping carts full of Lego kits, and simply walk out.
And then he would go to his car, load it up, and leave. And then repeat. Again, sometimes within a matter of hours.
Ted Osrigadu with the Contra Costa County DA's office says 32-year-old Michael Ivory Fletcher allegedly stole nearly $25,000 worth of Legos over the course of about a year. He's now facing 12 counts of theft and burglary.
It is not a victimless crime. Businesses suffer.
Matt Bigler for CBS News, San Ramon, California.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call, That's All Sports desk. Another Cactus League night game for the Brewers this evening, taking on the A's. The Brewers make official the signing of veteran left-hander Jose Quintana. Quintana steps in as Aaron Ashby seeks a second opinion on an oblique injury.
We know that's inevitable. Guys are going to be hurt. It's for just continuing to make sure that all the wheels on our bus are at least functioning.
Coverage of tonight's game begins following the 7 o'clock news on WTMJ. And college basketball tonight on the campus of UWM. The Milwaukee Panthers host Oakland in the Horizon League tournament. You can hear that game on 101.7 The Truth beginning at 7 o'clock.
And Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, Siding, and a whole lot more. Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 4:08.
Tariffs and the threat of their implementation have become a central part of the United States trade and foreign policy. What are tariffs? How are they implemented? And what sectors of the economy could benefit if they're put in place? Join me and Annex Wealth Management's Dave Spano, Chief Economist Brian Jacobson on March 11th at 1 p.m. for their informative webinar. Learn how your portfolio and your financial plan might be impacted and affected by tariffs. Visit the Annex Wealth Management webinar page at WTMJ.com.
CertaPro painters know how important your home is to you, and I know how good their work is. CertaPro did the painting at our house, and it's absolutely fantastic. Each CertaPro painter's business is independently owned and operated. And right now, call and ask about their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. They are the best in the business. Inside painting, outside painting, they do it all. Schedule your free home estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. I trust these guys. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
I'm Brett Matchke, and you're due for service.
Richlands.
Wisconsin's afternoon news is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
You see what a dumpster fire Wall Street is? So even today, the president now comes out and says he's delaying tariffs, and everything still dropped 500 points.
Oof.
It's a disaster. We have got to get this figured out.
That's what Dale Coingo was talking about yesterday with
Leading
MMAC.
to a lot of volatility. There's no doubt about that. Dave Spano will join us tomorrow to talk through the week in the markets. We got a lot to talk about with Spano. He'll be with us tomorrow afternoon at 4:45. Another story we've been following big time is the lead issue in Milwaukee schools. WTMJ Sean Brinda has been on this from the very beginning, and he's with us live in the studio. What's going on that story front today, Sean?
Just like the markets, the Milwaukee Public Schools still face uncertainty when it comes to lead dust. On March 3rd, students and faculty at Trowbridge Street School were temporarily moved to the Wisconsin Conservatory of Lifelong Learning as the Milwaukee Health Department and MPS continues to work on cleaning and removing lead dust within the school. Now, yesterday, the MHD released the lead risk assessment report. on Trowbridge. Trowbridge is the fourth school in MPS that has shown high levels of lead dust, and it's connected with being partially connected with one student having blood lead poisoning. Other schools like Golda Meir, Coggle, and Maryland Avenue Montessori also showed high levels of lead dust. The standard for acceptable lead levels in Milwaukee Health Department is less or equal to 10 micrograms per square foot. But at Trowbridge, MHD found lead dust exceeding more than 100 micrograms per square foot in classroom closets, floors, and windowsills, all on floors of the building. I gave the Milwaukee Health Department a call this afternoon to see where the school was with its cleanup process. MHD says at this time, students and faculty are still at the Wisconsin Conservatory of Lifelong Learning.
Oh, that is a rough situation. So what happens next? Where do we go from here?
So moving forward, MHD and MPS will have a press conference tomorrow to discuss their findings in Trowbridge's lead risk assessment report. No official time or date has been announced yet, but we can assume it will happen right before the afternoon hour. Trowbridge students are not yet set to return to their Bayview neighborhood at this time, but MHD and MPS are still working on a lead screening clinic for students within the Milwaukee public school system to see if any other kids have elevated blood lead levels at this time. But we should hear an update on that process during tomorrow's press conference as well.
WTMJ, Sean Brinda. Thank you, Sean.
Thank you.
And the scary part about all this is there are still schools that we don't know about that still have to go through the process and the protocol, and we just cross our fingers and hope that those kids haven't been exposed to lead dust, lead paint, and all the other schools. You can continue to count on us for updates. We've been on this story from the beginning. WTMJ, WTMJ.com, and the WTMJ mobile app for the very latest on the lead dust situation. It's just a really scary situation. It is 4:12 at WTMJ as we head into rush hour. Debbie Lazaga helps get you home. That's up next on WTMJ.
Wisconsin's Morning News is here for you every weekday morning starting at 6 a.m. Vince Petrano.
Milwaukee Public Schools has reached a contract agreement with the new superintendent,
Eric Bilstad.
President Trump's first address to a joint session of Congress since retaking office, telling lawmakers and the nation that, quote, America is back.
And traffic, Debbie Lazaga.
Lazaga just a little bit tight on northbound 43 from Center Street up towards Keith.
The news you need to know. Wisconsin's Morning News on WTMJ.
Serving Milwaukee since 1945, it's Otto's Wine and Spirits. Get that Crown Royal now before the tariffs whack it up in price. Get into Otto's right now. They've got the best selection. They've got I think it's a blackberry Crown Royal now that I just got. It is absolutely fantastic. They've got the peach. They've got the vanilla. They've got the best prices. It's Otto's Wine and Spirits. Employee-owned, super friendly staff. Best selection and best value, it's Otto's. You've been by the Otto's places. They're all over the place in Milwaukee. Stop into one. You'll be really pleasantly surprised at how great it is. They beat any advertised price. Otto's Wine and Spirits, it's where I shop, open 7 days a week. It's Otto's.
Looking ahead to life's next adventure? Hi, I'm Mike Yancey from Yancey & Associates. Whether you're buying a home or launching your dream business, we know there's a lot on your plate. But here's the thing, you don't have to go it alone. Since 1946, we've helped Wisconsinites like you secure, protect, and grow their version of the American dream. Our team is ready to tailor the perfect plan for you. Learn more at ANSAY.com. That's ANSAY.com.
The biggest boat sale of the year happens at the Waukesha Expo Center March 7th through 9th. Announcing the Milwaukee Metro Boat Sale. Over 60 boats on display. Pontoons, triple tunes, deck boats, fishing and bow riders, even used boats. All in one place at one time. The best brands and the best prices, all priced to sell now with guaranteed spring delivery. So bring along your checkbook and the title to your trade and get the deal of a lifetime. Free admission and parking details at centerpointmarine.com. The Milwaukee Metro Boat Sale at the Waukesha Expo. Be there!
You just can't pass on Less is Glass. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Traffic and weather at 4:15. I mean 4:15 right on the nuts. Can I? Right on the nose is what I meant, Deb.
Right on the nose. Yeah, that's what it is.
No,
yeah.
It's the same thing. How are we doing out there?
I think I knew what you meant. All right, we've got that earlier accident. All accidents on 41 southbound have been cleared. Delays, not so much. We've got some backups from Appleton Avenue all the way down past Capitol Drive. You'll start to slow down again as you get closer to the Zoo interchange all the way down past Greenfield Avenue. Northbound's backed up from Watertown Plank Road up past Burleigh. Southbound on 43, backing up from Keefe down through the Marquette. Same thing is true for the northbound side. Over the high-rise bridge all the way through the Marquette up to Keefe. Westbound 94, watch for delays from 25th Street all the way to Hawley Road. Then you're back on the brakes from Calhoun all the way past Brookfield Road. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 28 degrees. Tomorrow, light snow, mostly south of I-94, a high of 37. On Saturday, partly cloudy, a high of 43. Sunday, mostly sunny and mild, a high of 50. On Monday, sunny and mild, a high of 56 degrees. Right now in Milwaukee, not too bad, sunny and 37. Outstanding interview with Dale Schmidt, the Dodge County Sheriff, plus depth and description on the Morgan Geyser situation. You can get it all on our podcast page. Text the word WAN, W-A-N, to 855-616-1620. You get taken right to our podcast page, which is sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit DaveDrakamp.com. Bob Uecker getting another nice honor. So Usinger Sausage has had a long, long relationship with Bob Uecker, and they are continuing that at the sausage company. Text the word watch right now, and you can see pictures of what we're talking about. Watch to 855-616-1620. This is really cool.
Aww.
So Uecker's image will live on in Mr. Baseball brand products. That's what they call the sausages they do there. So way back in 2001, they did Mr. Baseball Bob Uecker brats. So more than 20 years ago. In 2018, they did a beef frank. So like a hot dog, paying homage to the Mr. Baseball nickname that Johnny Carson gave to him. And now you can see pictures of the products that will be continuing. Both product lines will continue. Proceeds of each sale of the product go to charities that Bob Uecker supported.
Aw.
The ALS Association, some veterans charities, and some other things. They talked to Uecker's family and said, we want to be sensitive, but we want to continue to do this. And the family said, absolutely. It's all about Bob's legacy of giving, is what the family said. So you can see it. And they're great products, by the way, right down there on Old World 3rd.
Mm-hmm.
So good. Bob Uecker, of course, was the radio voice of the Brewers for more than 50 years here on WTMJ and a national TV and movie celebrity. This is what it says in one of the ads that they're running right now on our station. I heard this ad the other day. The announcer comes on and says, Ueck wasn't much of a hitter, referring to his 200 career batting average, but man, could he pitch. Sausage, that is. He could really pitch sausage. And so they're continuing to do that. I think the Brewers are on here tonight. 7 o'clock on WTMJ. You can hear them from Arizona. That's always a lot of fun. If you want to support a local legend and some good charities at the same time, get into Usinger's and buy some of this sausage that Bob Uecker loves so much.
That's wonderful.
It's going to be weird not to have him on the radio. Good thing we've got such great guys.
I know. That was such a great team. What I learned from Bob's death was how much he brought everybody together behind the scenes. And you don't know that until someone's gone.
Hey, breaking news, by the way. I didn't even tell you guys this. I just confirmed this afternoon that Lane Grindle will join us every Monday coming up during baseball season. I was texting with Laney. So every Monday at 4:35, Lane Grindle will be with us talking Brewers baseball. Up next, how are tariffs impacting the construction industry here in Wisconsin?
When I shop St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores, every time I come in, it's like a whole new store. It's because new inventory is arriving daily, all kinds of everything. And let me tell you, thrift store prices make buying easy. And helping others at the same time, that's icing on the cake. St. Vincent de Paul thrift stores on Highway 100 in Layton and Greenfield, 23rd in Lincoln, and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee.
You're gonna love it, St. Vincent de Paul.
Hey, guess who was in the building today? Gina Della from Pella. It was amazing because she's an amazing person. She wanted to tell you about this great deal that they've got going on at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. Right now, you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest. Yeah, I said that right. You get into the Experience Center there in Brookfield, or you deal with one of their salespeople, or check it out online, and you buy something. You have 6 years to pay it off without paying any interest. And you get that incredible Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, and installs. They even service every single product. The 10-year labor warranty is always included, so your windows and doors are secure for years to come, like the patio door that we're having put in coming up here in a few weeks. It's the real deal. Expert installers available year-round. And Pella handles any issue that might come up ASAP. So take advantage of that 0% interest for up to 6 years on brand new Pella windows and doors. Certain restrictions apply. Offer ends in a few days. Set your free in-home consultation today. Check out the website, PellaWI.com.
As clutch of a player to ever play basketball. It's game time on season 4 of Behind the Bucks on Bucks Plus.
This year, I was like, I need to impose myself more on this team.
Explore Damian Lillard's journey to becoming a top 75 player in NBA history.
That's what really had me feeling like this is going to be great.
Behind the Bucks is presented by Gallagher, your trusted insurance broker, and H&R Benefits Consultant. Find Bucks Plus on bucks.com/plus, the Bucks app, and wherever you get podcasts.
This change has leveled us up while being able to maintain the same quality of service that we've always provided, with no upfront fees and 1.9% real estate commission. We're proud to be part of the Century 21 family, so you can move fearlessly with the added confidence of top-of-the-line marketing for maximum home exposure. And that means more eyeballs and the real potential for the highest price for your home. This is Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty, benefit-realty.com, where you pay less for full service. Each office is independently owned and operated. First off, our 1.9% commission structure helps get their foot in the door, and that's why agents like working here. But what they really like is having the strongest marketing tools available, with the resources to help them sell homes at the highest prices to satisfy their clients. Century 21 Benefit Realty offers what agents like most, and that's to help them be successful. If you really want to believe in the business model that you're representing, give me a call. I'm Angela Calais with Century 21 Benefit Realty. Call me, and let's talk about your future. Each office is independently owned and operated.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
422 on WTMJ. I hope you're having a fantastic Friday Eve. The Trump administration today suspended tariffs against Mexico until April 2nd. The Commerce Secretary Howard Lutnick says Trump will most likely announce a 1-month delay on all Canadian tariffs soon. So we'll see. The president said in the Oval Office he was stressing the power of tariffs, but then Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau is calling this a trade war. So we have construction industry expert Chris Coryell joining us live on the line. CoryellRoofing.com is his website. We really appreciate you joining us. So how could this affect small businesses here in Wisconsin?
Well, it's going to affect small businesses nationwide, specifically Wisconsin. You're going to see typical 4 to 8% increases across the board in construction costs, and we're going to see transportation costs increase. So for construction projects, it's going to definitely have an impact.
So, Chris, we had a guy who runs a big lumber company here, one of the biggest in Wisconsin, and they were telling us that they get more than 50% of their lumber literally from Canada. Can you talk a little bit about how that's passed on to people wanting to build a house or have another construction project?
You know, you have to look at the stages of the project. So if you're pre-contract, the prices or the cost increases just get passed on to the end user. And so people are going to have to make decisions if they want to pay the increased cost. For those that currently have contracts in place, for example, our clients where we use AIA contracts, there's no provision for tariffs in place. So in a lot of situations, it can really hurt the contractor. If your price is already determined, your contract amount is already determined. So it's going to be challenging for contractors, it's going to be challenging for manufacturers, and ultimately end users.
Yeah, because the price is fixed right when they start building. Is that correct?
That's correct. If you have a contract in place, and it depends on the language of the contract, obviously, but like I said, AIA contracts don't have a provision for tariffs built into them. So what do you do in that situation? The end user's already contracted, the amount is set, the manufacturer passes the price along to the contractor that's buying the material for the project. You're the middleman at that point. So it definitely hurts the contractors at certain points.
How much could it go up? Like a house, for example, how much could it go up on a homeowner that's building?
Well, the projections are 4 to 8%, between 4 and 8% across the board. what we're seeing, and your reference to the lumber industry is relevant in Wisconsin. Nationwide, we're looking at metals and aluminums being the first impacted because they're so import dependent, and there's not a lot of backup to that. So American manufacturers have to step up. That takes time to do. So this could be a lingering effect for quite some time. It's going to put people in a position where they have to make the decision, do we want to pay the increased cost if that can be passed on to the end user? It's going to force contractors to decide, well, how is this going to affect margins? Think about it like this. If a contractor is working in a reasonable margin and then all of a sudden the material price goes up 4 to 8% and that can't be passed on to the end user because of a contracted amount, that decreases the margins. So it's putting contractors in a pretty tough spot.
Yeah, because they want to make profits no matter what. So it's got to go up somewhere. So Chris, what do you think is going to happen? Another manufacturing expert we talked to yesterday says it's probably not going to last that long. But does that cause a lot of uncertainty? Do you think this was a good idea for Trump to do this?
Well, I think the key word is probably nobody knows. Nobody has any idea. This is a chess game, and the pieces on the table are being moved. And the way that the other parties react to how you make your move is going to determine how long it lasts. And quite frankly, this could go on for a long time with certain countries. If anybody paid attention to the president's address to Congress a couple nights ago, he said that there will be reciprocal tariffs, meaning that any country that imposes tariffs on the United States, they will receive tariffs on them on that country. So this goes further than just China. It goes further than just Canada and Mexico. It could impact far and wide, and it just depends on how the countries react to those tariffs being imposed on them. Are they going to come to the table and say, "Hey, we'll take our tariffs down"? So nobody really has the answer to that until we see, is this a long-term play, or are people going to back down? Are they going to work with us? It's anybody's best guess at this point. Well, the only known fact right now is there are tariffs being imposed. There are 4 to 8% price increases across the board, and people have to brace for that.
That's the headline there. Chris Coryell is a construction industry expert, CoryellRoofing.com. Chris, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Coming up in 15 minutes, new information, new theories, new suggested leads on what might have happened to Gene Hackman and his wife.
Disturbing.
Live updates on that coming up in about 15 minutes here on WTMJ. First, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. You know, the tariffs are also smacking the markets around. NASDAQ, Dow, S&P all off big time. The NASDAQ was off 483 points. That's almost 3% just on the day. The Dow was off 427. That's 1%. The S&P was off 104. That's 1.75%. Yikes. Dave Spano from Annex Wealth Management with perspective. He joins us tomorrow at 4:45. Annex, know the difference.
Hi, I'm Tony Drake from Drake & Associates. If you're in or near retirement, you're facing one of the biggest financial decisions of your life. When to take Social Security. Should you claim it now or wait for a bigger benefit? The wrong decision could cost you tens of thousands of dollars in lost income. And once you lock in your choice, there's no do-over. The truth is, Social Security is more complicated than most people think. The age you file, your marital status, other income sources, all of it impacts how much you'll receive. And in today's economy with rising costs and uncertainty about future benefits, you need to make every dollar count. At Drake & Associates, we help hardworking Americans make smart decisions about retirement. Income is just one stop on your retirement-ready roadmap, and we'll help you navigate every turn so you can maximize your benefits and keep more of what you earned. Don't make this decision blindly. Get the facts and a plan today. Text SS to 414-897-9522 to claim your free retirement toolkit and a copy of my book, Get Retirement Ready. Inside, you'll learn strategies to help optimize your Social Security, reduce taxes, and create a retirement income plan that works for you. But don't wait. These resources are only available while supplies last. Secure your future today. Text SS to 414-897-9522. Drake & Associates, helping you retire with confidence.
Drake & Associates LLC is an independent investment advisory firm that offers a variety of different investment vehicles. This commercial is provided for informational purposes only and should not be construed as individual investment advice. Drake & Associates LLC does not provide legal or tax advice. Past performance is not indicative of future performance.
Traffic is brought to you by Rejuvenix, your non-surgical joint therapy experts.
Alleviate your pain, rejuvenate your life.
Go to rejuvenex.com to request your appointment.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 4:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: a Slenderman attacker back in court.
I'm Julia Fellow. A lawsuit over missing ballots.
I'm Debbie Loziga. Southbound on 41, we got a new accident. This is on the ramp from Appleton Avenue onto 41 southbound, so heads up with that. Looks like the right lane is blocked to that ramp. Still going to be heavy all the way down past Capitol Drive. Back on the brakes from Wisconsin Avenue down through the Zoo interchange towards Lincoln. On the northbound side, backing up from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up to Capitol Drive. We've also got backup southbound 43 from before Capitol all the way through the Marquette down to the KK River. Northbound's backed up over the high-rise bridge towards Keith. Westbound 94 riders, heavy ride out of the Marquette all the way to Hawley Road. Back on the brakes west of Highway 100 into Waukesha County, pretty much all the way to Brookfield Road. I'm Debbie Loziga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Increasing clouds tonight, a low of 28. Chance of light snow south of 94 tomorrow. Mostly cloudy for the rest of us, a high of 37.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, we're following a pair of high-profile court appearances today. Slenderman stabber Morgan Geyser back in a Waukesha County court right now as the State Department of Health Services petitions to stop her conditional release. It was a recommendation that she be released just a couple of weeks ago. A judge has now ordered the same three medical experts who testified at Geyser's January hearing to conduct new psychological evaluations. We'll keep you updated on that.
And earlier this afternoon, a plea hearing in Milwaukee for one of four men connected to the death of a man outside a downtown Milwaukee hotel this past summer. Brandon Turner pled guilty in the death of Devontae Mitchell, one of three suspects to accept a plea deal earlier this year. The other two, Herbert Williamson and Devin Johnson Carson, returned to court later this month. A fourth suspect heads to trial later this summer. Turner's sentencing is scheduled for September 3rd.
A 15-year-old accused of stabbing his mother to death in their Caledonia home is charged with first-degree intentional homicide. Reed Galinsky's been charged in adult court in the death of his mother earlier this week. Bond's been set at $1 million. He'll be back in court for a review on Friday.
A lawsuit targeting the city of Madison and Dane County focuses on 193 absentee votes that were discovered in sealed courier bags after the 2024 election.
The lawsuit filed Thursday by Law Forward identifies $175,000 in harm to individual voters in Madison and Dane County. Earlier this year, the Elections Commission began an investigation as to whether or not City Clerk Maribeth Witzel-Bell failed to comply with the law regarding the ballots. Commissioner Don Millis.
My biggest concern here is why it took a month and a half for this to come out. And that's very, very disturbing.
The city of Madison has declined to comment on the pending litigation. Adam Roberts, WTMJ News.
In national news, President Trump has signed more executive orders today, including some involving trade tariffs against Canada and Mexico.
The president postponed 25% tariffs on products from Mexico and some imports from Canada until April 2nd. Speaking in the Oval Office, he said the threat of the tariffs had sparked positive action.
We're working much harder lately. Do you notice that? On people coming in and drugs.
When asked if he paused the tariffs due to market reactions.
Countries and companies that have been ripping us aren't particularly happy with what I'm doing.
Trump did acknowledge the tariffs will cause what he termed some disruption. Linda Kenyon, CBS News, the White House.
It's almost time to move those clocks forward, but everyone's body is working differently when it comes to daylight saving time. Chief Health Policy Advisor from Milwaukee County, Dr. Ben Weston, tells WTMJ the jump forward makes it really hard for adults to adjust.
We've seen that the risk of car crashes actually increases by about 6% right after the time change, and this is likely due to sleep deprivation and that resulting lack of alertness when driving.
Dr. Weston says the best way to deal with the time jump is to slowly adjust your alarms by 15 to 20 minutes each day.
We're learning more details about the Brewers' plans to honor the life and legacy of the late Bob Uecker. President of Business Operations Rick Schlesinger tells WTMJ the planned celebration of life for Euchre will be held during a regularly scheduled game in August.
I think what we'll do is we'll announce the day, sometime in early April. We'll announce when that date's going to be in the summer, later summer. And then I think we'll roll out details as they become available because, this is a work in progress and it's a labor of love for our folks to put it together.
Already announced tributes include Euchre's signature on the outfield grass through the season, tribute patches, and a moment of silence prior to the first pitch at the March 31st home opener.
Time for WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. On the day, Brewers pitcher DL Hall was placed on a 60-day injured list, the Brewers announced the signing of veteran left-handed pitcher Jose Quintana.
If you feel like you've heard the name Jose Quintana a lot against the Brewers, you're not alone.
I guarantee he started 20 games against us.
22 times he faced the Milwaukee Brewers, and most recently, he faced the Brewers in their last game of 2024, Game 3 of the Wild Card Series.
I had a pit in my stomach for all 22.
But Jose Quintana is excited to join what he calls a hungry group.
I saw how electric they are, how hungry they play the game, and that was the most impressive thing.
From American Family Fields of Phoenix, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
Brewers take on the A's tonight in Cactus League action. Coverage begins after the 7 o'clock news on WTMJ. Tournament basketball in Milwaukee tonight as the Panthers host the Oakland in the Horizon League tournament at Klotchke Center. Hear the game on 101.7 The Truth at 7 o'clock. Badger Sports Updates are sponsored by Siding Unlimited, Siding, and a whole lot more.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time 4:36.
Good Karma Brands is proud to be an equal opportunity employer. Our policy is to provide equal opportunity employment, development, and advancement to all current and potential teammates. If you are an organization that maintains a job bank, provides employment information, or gives job referrals, you may request to be placed on the station's mailing list for future career opportunities. To learn more about careers at Good Karma Brands, please email careers@goodkarmabrands.com.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas. Also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Visit 800spasale.com.
Get started with your no-hassle refi checkup by clicking on the blue button at Accunet.com.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News on WTMJ.
4:37 on WTMJ. Hope you're having a great Thursday. We all know how high grocery prices have gotten, making food share benefits even more important for low-income families in our state. And this program helps families in need pay for food on a card that looks similar to a debit card. But one Milwaukee woman is accused of having access to 16 different food share cards when she should only have one. She was facing 9 felony counts for trafficking food stamps and money laundering, which could put her behind bars for up to 20 years. It came to an end this week with her having to pay it back. Katrina Weems, 36, must pay about $1,500 to the Department of Health as a condition of her 12-month probation. So how was this all revealed? On Judge Judy's TV show, Judy Justice. Take a listen. The two Milwaukee women, Javala Elam and Katrina Weems, are sparring over the sale of a $3,800 car, something that was totally not related to this. It turned into a revelation by Elam.
And Miss Weems was buying stamps and...
Buying what?
Buying food stamps.
She was buying food stamps from whom?
From everybody, me included.
Oh, boy.
Oh, no.
Right? It goes on. Judge Judy got the women to explain exactly how that operation went. Judge Judy saying, so if you have $100, let's say, worth of food stamps, she'll give you $50 for it, so it's cut in half. Elam replies, yeah, saying they did it in exchange on Cash App. Court records are showing all of this as well. Elam saying that she was getting extra money during the pandemic on her card, and she didn't need it. You can see Katrina Weems' eyes bulge out as she's explaining all of this, and Judge Judy pointedly asked Weems to explain herself.
I buy food, I give them away. I'm just a person that helps everybody. I just buy them because they be needing the money.
Oh, boy.
brother.
Not
Weems
good.
says that she would give it to families who need it that go to the daycare she owns, but the criminal complaint shows video of Weems using it on the cards for herself. So you know how self-checkout can check out grocery stores,
Yeah,
and there's
yeah.
images, still images, of her buying $231 worth of food at the Pick and Save in Glendale with a handful of food share cards in her hands.
Oh.
She wasn't giving them away. This was 2021. Her show streams online. Judy Justice. At the end of the show, Judge Judy is in her chambers talking about this case with another person who works with a judge, and they just talked for a good minute about how disturbed Judge Judy was about what she had heard.
I wonder if both those women realize that they just admitted in court to committing a felony. When I heard that they were exchanging food stamps for money, for cash, for other things, I looked up the Wisconsin statute. And sure enough, if you transfer or sell for money something other than food, that's a Class 1 felony.
It sounded like a scam, irrespective of the fact that the defendant says, I give it away, I use it, but I pay for it. I don't know, some programs that are meant to really help people. And it's just too bad that some people will always stoop to the level of abusing a program that was really meant to help people who really couldn't afford to buy food, people who are going hungry.
She's spot on with that. What do you think the defense attorney was thinking?
Oh,
Judge Judy?
yeah. Oh, my gosh. That's
Do you want
terrible.
her to be a witness?
Yeah, Judge Judy's going to be called into court.
So
Whoa.
again, Weems had to pay it all back, is now on 12 months probation. She could have gone behind bars for 20 years. Elon pled guilty last year to trafficking food stamps. She testified against Weems as well and was given just a couple days in jail. So
This is a crazy story.
that's the story.
This is unbelievable. The other story is what? Justice Judy? What is this? This is a different show?
It's an online streaming platform like on YouTube and stuff.
Interesting.
Yeah, I didn't know there was Judy Justice.
I never heard of that either. Fascinating story.
Yeah, there's always a Wisconsin connection somewhere.
Always. 442 at WTMJ. New information, the mysterious death of Gene Hackman and his wife. Wow, we have a former FBI agent going to join us with some perspective and what he thinks might have happened. That's up next.
If you missed this,
Can you talk about how often officers are ending up at schools and how difficult those situations are?
3,100 calls a school year. It was about 17 calls a day.
or this,
Handpicking the press pool. What are your thoughts on that?
I have many, as you might imagine. I've been in the press pool covering the White House, the greatest privilege of my repertorial life.
Catch up on the Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast at WTMJ.com. Presented by Dave Drakamp Heating. John Mercure here for Annex Wealth Management. There is a real difference between financial advisors. That's why Annex Wealth Management urges you to know the difference. I'm asking you to please know the difference. Annex is local, independent, and part of the community, and that matters. Their investment, retirement, tax, and estate planning teams are based right here in southeast Wisconsin. Now's a perfect time to get serious about your investment and retirement planning. When you start to move forward, use this simple checklist. Is your financial advisor a fiduciary? How are they at tax planning? What about estate planning? Can they help make sure your legacy plan follows your wishes? All good questions to ask, and it helps to separate out those who are just trying to sell you something. Make sure they're a fee-only fiduciary all the time. It's financial planning at every level. Annex Comprehensive Wealth, Annex Private Client, Annex Ignite. They will meet you where you are on your financial journey. Visit AnnexWealth.com. Click the Get Started button today. We did that years ago. Schedule your own appointment. That's Annex Wealth Management.
Do you know the secret to losing up to 1 pound of fat every day? At Milwaukee Weight Loss, we know the secret. Our doctor-developed, easy-to-follow weight loss program helps you lose weight fast, naturally and safely, and with no drugs or injections with risk of serious side effects, no prepackaged meals, bars, shakes, and no exercising required. Our program helps reset your metabolism so you can keep the weight off for good with a coach for ongoing support. Our program costs up to half as much and works up to twice as fast as most other programs. Go Go to MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com to schedule your free consultation.
Hey, it's WTMJ's Steve Scafidi. I've been on this weight loss journey for about 4 weeks, and I've already lost 20 pounds thanks to my amazing team at Milwaukee Weight Loss. My wife's on board. Kathy loves it, and we are both feeling more energized.
Many patients lose 20 to 30 pounds in about a month or two. That's up to a pound per day. Schedule your free consultation by calling 262-449-1180 or online at MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. That's MilwaukeeWeightLoss.com. Results may vary.
Things are getting even cheaper at Fleet Farm during Chick Days, March 6th through the 12th. We've got the most popular poultry breeds, all at the best prices guaranteed. Plus, get great deals on other chickening needs, too, like 20% off Little Giant feeders and waterers. 40 pounds of Nature-Wise protein crumble is on sale for $16.99. And Kamek and Tamarack boots for the coop are all 25% off. Eggers, Leghorns, Reds. Now's the best time to get them during Fleet Farm Chick Days.
Traffic is sponsored by the Milwaukee Metro Boat Sale, taking place this weekend at the Waukesha County Expo Center.
The Milwaukee Metro Boat Sale, this weekend at the Waukesha Expo Center. Over 60 boats on display, new and pre-owned boats, the best brands, the best pricing, free admission and parking. The Milwaukee Metro Boat Sale.
Let's get you where you need to safely with our Debbie Lazaga. Hey, Deb.
Hey, Julia, we do still have this issue on the ramp from 175 southbound to 41 southbound, 175 being Appleton Avenue. So watch out for that. Then we've also got more delays from Silver Spring all the way down past Capitol Drive. Back on the brakes from Watertown Plank Road all the way down towards Lincoln. Northbound 41 backing up from Wisconsin Avenue all the way up to Burleigh. We got westbound 94 backing up from 16th Street all the way to Hawley Road, back on the brakes west of Highway 100 into Waukesha County to about Elm Grove Road. You're back on the brakes from Moreland Road all the way to Brookfield Road. The eastbound side's got some heavy traffic right past Barker Road, and then again from 76th Street all the way through the Stadium interchange as well. Very heavy ride northbound 43 coming through the Marquette all the way up to Keefe. Southbound 43 heavy from Capitol Drive all the way down over the high-rise bridge. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Your WTMJ 5-day forecast, increasing clouds tonight, a low of 28. Tomorrow, a chance of light snow south of 94, mostly cloudy for the rest of us, a high of 37. Saturday, partly cloudy, high of 43. Then it gets to 50 degrees, mostly sunny and mild Sunday. Monday, high of 56, mostly sunny. Right now, it's sunny and 37 degrees in Milwaukee.
I'm obsessed with this Gene Hackman case because it's just a real-life mystery.
Me too.
He's dead. His wife is dead. One of their dogs are dead. The mysterious death. And Brad Garrett, ABC News crime and terrorism analyst, former FBI agent, is with us from Washington. So, Brad, this seems to have stumped law enforcement, or at least they're not telling us what they know so far. But we do know no external injuries, no carbon monoxide poisoning. Take us inside what you're looking at and what you've observed.
So I think you have to start with the scene. And the scene is the following of Hackman down, fully clothed in the mudroom, wherever that is in the house. His wife's in the bathroom with one of the dogs, I think, that's in a dog cage. They're both deceased, but she also is fully clothed, drops in place. There are pills scattered about, which, some people would suggest that she took something that could have harmed her. We don't know that. If she passed out or just expired and the bottle was out or she had it in her hand, they're going to spill. So we'll see how that plays out via toxicology. And so if his pacemaker stops on February 17th, I'd have to know more about how she was found. Did she die approximately at the same time? Because you'll be able to figure that out, not but to the minute, but you'll be able to figure out if it was close. My guess is it probably was close. And then, of course, the dog dies. So if you take that picture and you think about, okay, what are the possibilities as to what killed them? Something in the air. In other words, they've eliminated, apparently, we'll see if that holds, carbon monoxide. But there's a lot of other airborne things that could be potentially there. Now, granted, somebody may have had to put them there. If it were like a poison or something like that, obviously this then turns into a murder case. We don't know that. I'm not suggesting that. But if you don't know any more than it appears they know, you also can't rule that out until you get more information. There are also toxins. There are bacterial infections. There are things that, in theory, the two of them and the dog could have ingested some way or exposed some way. I don't know how high that is on my list either till I know more. But again, you got to keep this wide open until you can narrow it down. Hopefully, the toxicology report, which should be out, I would think, within a few weeks, if not sooner, might give them some direction. And I hope it does, because if it doesn't, they're going to have to get help from other experts, other pathologists, other toxicologists about what other tests they could run that they haven't run to possibly detect, whatever these folks are suggesting might have killed them. So could have an answer to this in the short term, and you could have an answer maybe long term.
Yeah, and it's still considered suspicious. The sheriff said that. And it's 2 dead bodies, not just one. I know that Gene Hackman's 95. At least they have the date, February 17th, with a pacemaker. But I wanted to know, Brad, if we're looking at maybe anthrax or poison or something like that, God forbid, their bodies were somewhat mummified, their hands and feet, especially the woman, Gene Hackman's wife. So does that make it harder to do toxicology?
No. No, because you can compensate for that. So also think about how long they've been dead. It may have been 9 or 10 days before they were found. So some of it, I'd have to know more as to exactly, without getting graphic on the radio, about what state they were in to give you a better picture of that. But I wouldn't say that that's unusual based on the amount of time that had occurred before they were found.
So investigators are also reviewing their cell phones and social media traffic. What do you think they're looking for?
Well, they're looking for the obvious, a couple things. One is, had either one of them received a threat? Is there things that are odd in text messages, possibly telephone conversations? You're going to want to look at who they talked to in the days before they both died. They've been described as reclusive, so maybe they don't talk to people much. So the idea that days or weeks go by and nobody sees them or hears from them is perhaps normal. And we'll see if any of that looks irregular. But it's you got to touch everything that they have potentially touched to see if there's something relevant. Obviously, talking to relatives and other folks that have a relationship with one or both of them to see if there's a piece of information that you're missing. As far as, somebody from 25 years ago recently threatened Mr. Hackman with X because he did something they didn't like or whatever it might be. So you may have to go back in history. If, in fact, there is anybody else involved in this case, but we certainly don't know that at this point.
Brad Garrett is with us, ABC News crime and terrorism analyst. So, Brad, I read something where someone was suggesting maybe it could be bug bites, it could be flea bites, it could be a rodent infestation. Is any of that possible?
Well, it's all possible, but let's go with the flea thing. This is really rare, and it's I don't even know if it's occurred here in the United States. It's occurred in other parts of the world where fleas can get infected with a version of the plague. And they can bite dogs and infect them, and then they can bite humans if the dog has fleas that would kill you if it goes untreated. There's ways to treat it today that we didn't have 100 years ago. I guess that's a possibility. But I don't want to lean one way or the other because I don't have enough information yet to do that. If I had their investigative file in front of me, I might have a different opinion. But until I see more, it's really hard to say what direction this case may take.
Some people are saying that, some reports are saying that the carbon monoxide poisoning may not be ruled out. Why is that?
Well, because preliminary tests can not be accurate. And the medical examiner, I assume, would have done a test. The other piece of information you have that sort of discounts carbon monoxide is the gas company. who's been through the house, tested every device that has gas, and didn't find any leaks. And so, assuming that's accurate, it sort of rules out, at least on the front end, carbon monoxide. But to your point, the toxicology people will also take a look at that.
Okay, Brad, we know you don't have access to all the information, but you have the experience and breadth of knowledge that none of the rest of us have. If you had to bet the mortgage of your house on this right now, what are you going with happened? I mean, what's your best guess based on the limited stuff that we know?
I'm gonna guess that it's some airborne situation.
Really?
Maybe by accident. Maybe it is something that was environmentally in the house that only because of the way they were found, and it looks like again, what little we know, that they died roughly at about the same time. And you have the wild card of, is there a bad guy out there that made this happen? That sort of changes the formula, obviously.
Brad Garrett, former FBI agent, ABC News crime and terrorism analyst. Always good perspective. Brad, thank you so much for making some time for us.
You're welcome. Take care.
Hey, coming up during the 5 o'clock hour, Charles Benson had the chance to sit down with Transportation Secretary Sean Duffy. Charles will be with us live in the studio. We'll do that coming up a little bit later on. And one of the most successful commercial crops in our state is ginseng. How that could be impacted by the whole tariff situation. It's a pretty big deal here in Wisconsin. All of that coming up after the news at the top of the hour. It's 4:55. Let's check those business headlines.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.
The renovation of Northwestern Mutual's North Office Tower is proceeding on pace, with the $500 million project set to be complete by early 2027. Right now, crews are putting up a glass curtain wall, and the building's parking structure should be done this year. More than 100 contractors are helping with the job. The founding CEO of the Water Council is stepping down after 15 years. Dean Amhouse helped start the organization, which has helped raise the area's stature as a water technology hub. The council has launched a national search to find his replacement. Artificial intelligence is growing in importance in Milwaukee, and a local college is helping train the workforce who will use that technology. Carroll University is launching a major in the subject, with students taking classes in applied machine learning, data visualization, programming, and robotics. I'm Timothy Gibbons with MilwaukeeBusinessJournal.com on 620 WTMJ.
WTMJ, W277CV, and WKTI HD2 Milwaukee from the Annex Wealth Management Studios. This is News Radio WTMJ, a Good Karma brand station.
Some current employees or candidates for jobs may seem just average at first glance, while others have exceptional potential waiting to be discovered. Question is, how do you identify which ones are truly ready to excel? The LAK Group offers a huge range of employee assessments, so you have objective data backed by research to make hiring and development decisions. They even have culture assessments to uncover gaps and opportunities within your company. See all their assessments at transformingcareers.com. LAK, discover your human advantage.
Looking to escape the winter chill? Fox World Travel has you covered. Whether it's an all-inclusive vacation with Apple Vacations, a luxurious Princess Cruise, or a European adventure with Globus and Avalon, we create unforgettable experiences just for you. Enjoy last-minute deals, exclusive offers, and personalized itineraries. From booking to boarding, we handle all the details for a stress-free trip. Ready to get out of the cold? Call 866-GO-FOX-GO and mention code RADIO to start planning your getaway today.
Get 0% interest for up to 6 years at Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin. You can accomplish quite a lot in 6 years. You go from changing diapers to dropping your child off at school. College? You can get a bachelor's and a master's degree. And you can take up to 6 years to pay off your brand new Pella Windows and Doors at 0% interest. Hi, it's Gina Della from Pella. With Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin, you get so much more than stunning windows and doors. You get the Pella experience. Talk about quality control. Pella manufactures, sells, installs, and services every product. A 10-year labor warranty is always included, so your windows and doors are secure for years to come. Our expert installers are available year-round and can install in as little as a day. If something ever goes wrong, Pella will handle it ASAP because you work with the same team from start to finish. Oh my gosh, why wait? Get the Pella experience and this incredible deal. 0% interest for up to 6 years on brand new Pella windows and doors. Set your free free in-home consultation today at palawi.com.
Certain restrictions apply. Ends 3/8/25.
From sliding framed, semi-frameless, or frameless glass shower doors to heavy all-glass custom enclosures that can be built to fit any opening, at Less's Glass, we cover all the bases. But our biggest strength isn't only our selection. It's in our installation experience. We've been around nearly 40 years, and you only last that long if your installers leave the job the way your customers expect it to be left. Other places can sell you a glass shower enclosure, and some of those big guys may even be able to do it for a little cheaper. But the question you need to ask yourself is, will the job be done right? So remember, paying for quality only hurts once, but it does feel good when you get what you expect. This is Stacy Sinks with Less's Glass Service. If it's a new glass shower door, fogged or broken insulated glass replacement, or affordable glass and mirror home decor that you've been looking for, you just can't pass on Less's Glass. Less's Glass Service, serving all of southeastern Wisconsin. Find us at lessglassservice.com.
Tune in this week from 1 to 3 p.m. for your chance to win 2 tickets to experience Magic's legendary duo, Penn and Teller.
Penn and Teller coming to the Riverside Theater March 27th. Tickets on sale now at papstheatergroup.com.
Don't miss your chance to win tickets. Tune in to Spanning the State this week from 1 to 3 p.m.
Penn and Teller, they continue to defy labels and at times physics and good taste. They've invented their own very distinct niche in comedy.
Penn and Teller coming to the Riverside Theater March 27th.
Hair Volume is the best-selling hair tablet in the world and one of many award-winning natural hair products from New Nordic. Purchase at newnordicusa.com or CVS.
The place you want to go, Lynch McWanago.
Nobody sells for less than Lynch.
I'm Brett Matschke, and you're due for service.
Rich Lawns.
Rich Lawns Tire and Service Centers. 5 locations and all easy to find. Visit richlawns.com when you're due for service.
Trusted, relevant, locally owned, locally programmed. We are Wisconsin's radio station. News Radio 620, WTMJ Milwaukee.
I'm John Mercure. Your top story, will she or won't she be released?
I'm Julia Fellow, pausing tariffs on U.S. imports from Mexico and possibly Canada.
I'm Debbie Lazago. Westbound on 94. We've got backups from about 16th Street all the way through to Mitchell Boulevard. Back on the brakes just west of Highway 100, pretty much all the way to Calhoun. We've got eastbound backing up right through from Highway F all the way through to Brookfield Road. And then you're back on the brakes from 76th Street through the Stadium interchange. 43 northbound, just going to be a brutal ride, basically over the high-rise bridge all the way up to Keith. The southbound side, you got main delays from North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette and over the high-rise bridge. A couple more delays from Lapham down past Lincoln. And then on the bypass, southbound from Beloit Road down and around the Hale interchange past Forest Home. I'm Debbie Lazago with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Tonight, increasing clouds, low of 28. Tomorrow, a little bit of light snow, a high of 37. From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, it's going on right now. It's Morgan Geyser in court. She is trying to get released. She's the Slumberman stabbing defendant. A judge has ordered medical experts back into court who now say that maybe she should not be released. Psychological evaluations have taken place. Earlier this year, it was the opposite. There was belief that maybe she could be released. We'll keep you updated on this story.
And the petition to revoke Geyser's conditional release focuses on 2 items, her reading materials and a man.
The team preparing Morgan Geyser's conditional release plan recently learned she was reading the book Rent Boy by Gary Indiana. It's a novel that includes themes of sex, comedy, and murder. The team also learned about a man named Jeffrey Pagel who had contact with Geyser. He went to see her 3 times at the Winnebago Mental Health Institute. They also exchanged letters, and Pagel is accused of trying to sell some of her drawings. The team says they're now concerned there's an unknown risk in releasing Geyser. Geyser's defense says she's broken no rules. Jessica Ty, WTMJ News.
A 15-year-old accused of stabbing his mother to death in their Franksville home is charged with first-degree intentional homicide. Reed Galinsky has been charged in adult court in the death of his mother. That took place earlier this week. Bond has been set at $1 million.
In national news, President Trump announced a 1-month reprieve from tariffs on cars coming in from Mexico and Canada. Now, more products from Mexico will get a temporary reprieve from the taxes. CBS News' Erica Brown.
President Trump says he's agreed to a temporary pause on tariffs for many goods coming in from Mexico as part of the U.S.-Mexico-Canada trade agreement. He posted, Mexico will not be required to pay tariffs on anything that falls under the USMCA agreement. This agreement is until April 2nd. Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum praised Trump for the decision and said nearly every product Mexico exports falls under the agreement.
The president says the U.S. will move forward with reciprocal tariffs in April, on April 2nd to be exact, on foreign nations that have imported taxes on U.S. goods.
Coming up, the unusual role listed on one hospital's payroll.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:04.
Do you want the economy mulch or the premium? The only real difference is that the premium mulch has thicker strands, while the economy mulch is finer. But the colorant we use for both is of the highest quality, and that's why the color of our mulch lasts longer. And our mulch comes from trees, not pallets, and we process it all in-house. That's why our prices are so low. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection. At Erickson's Landscape Supply, we have durable, maintenance-free polywood patio furniture and #1 grade treated natural pine Amish-made patio furniture. And we also have a wonderful assortment of concrete benches, statues, and fountains available in a selection you just gotta see to believe. Erickson's Landscape Supply, high-quality mulch and stone for a whole lot less, plus a whole lot more. Commercial or residential, visit ericksonslandscapesupply.com to see our entire selection or stop on in today.
Artwork, especially original artwork, can be pricey. But when you take it in on consignment from nice people like you who are just ready to change the look of their home, you can price it right. And you'll find a lot of it at Design Exchange. Beautiful frame pieces by a number of notable artists. And new ones pop in all the time. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor at a value. In Heartland and Pewaukee.
Design Exchange.
In Heartland, you're going to find a focus on distinctive furniture, unique antiques, and original artwork, along with tasteful home decor that can fit almost any budget. In Pewaukee, the focus is on kitchen, outdoor, and garden decor, and all of it is priced at 25 to 40% off retail. This is Katie with Design Exchange, where discerning buyers with discriminating tastes come to find premium home decor on consignment at a value.
Design Exchange.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:06.
Hospitals employ everyone from janitors to surgeons, but how about a clown?
Linda Herbert began her work life as a respiratory therapist, but along the way she found a different way to help patients feel better.
I took a little clown course at Broward Community College back in 1986.
She created the character Lotsie Dotsie and began volunteering at hospitals. In the early 90s, Joe DiMaggio Children's Hospital hired her to be their first full-time clown. Mark Schulman's daughter Nicolette is being treated there for cancer.
She just brings a smile to everyone's face, including ours.
Linda Herbert says being Lotsie Dotsie is the greatest joy of her life.
I just want to get in my car and drive to work, and I want to promote love and happiness.
Christopher Cruz, CBS News.
Time for a WTMJ Sports Update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All Sports Desk. Brewers in action tonight against the A's. Coverage at 7 on WTMJ. And college basketball in town. Milwaukee Panthers host Oakland in the Horizon League Tournament. Hear that game on 101.7 The Truth at 7 o'clock.
Outdoor Living Unlimited, WTMJ News Time, 5:08.
Tax tips are brought to you by the Neal Group. For less stress with the IRS, visit nealgroup.net. That's NEAL Group.net for a free consultation.
Hi, this is John Neal, CPA and founder of the Neal Group. Tax tip number 5. Remember to keep receipts and documents to support the numbers on your tax return. Also, keep a copy of the return you filed. The IRS has 3 years to audit your tax return and ask you for proof of a deduction or income claimed. The state of Wisconsin has 4 years. Lack of substantiation results in not only additional tax due, but also interest and penalties imposed on the additional tax due. Imagine having to pay an additional 20% or more in penalties plus interest for 2 or 3 years. Always read the notice, as many times they are incorrect. Find the respond by date and make sure you send your reply by then. If you are uncomfortable in replying, find a CPA, attorney, or EA who can help you through the process. They can talk to the IRS for you and help you resolve the issue. For more information on this tip and other tax tips, go to neilgroup.net or stop in and see us. Hi, this is John Neal, CPA, founder of Right Choice Tax and best-selling author on how to have less stress with the IRS. The IRS has you in their crosshairs. We are local and know how to deal with the IRS and state to solve your situation. Just the other week, we successfully removed the target on Nick to get $194,358 of taxes and penalties removed. This is why I started Right Choice Tax Resolution, to help people fight the IRS and state. You don't know the ins and outs of all the taxes they can charge you or the more than 150 penalties they can impose on you. Make the right choice and call us at 844-222-1192. We want to help so your bank account doesn't get wiped out, your paycheck or Social Security garnished, or a lien put on your house. Get rid of that stress and get back to enjoying life. The situation won't go away if you do nothing. Call us at 844-222-1192 or visit rightchoicetax.us right now to book a meeting.
Wisconsin's Afternoon News is on the air, broadcasting live from the Annex Wealth Management Studios at the Avenue in beautiful downtown Milwaukee. Here are your hosts, John McCure and Julia Fellow.
All right, happy Friday Eve. Hope you're having a great Thursday.
Hey, so this was national news, but it could come to Wisconsin. Maybe Utah became the first state to pass a bill requiring app stores to verify users' ages and get parental consent for minors to download on their devices. Social media companies like Meta, which is the parent company of Facebook and Instagram, support these changes, saying no child under 13 years old should use them. There's more to children's online safety, though, especially when it has to do with their self-esteem and mental health. Dr. Brad Schwal is a mental health expert with the Center for Counseling.org. He's been a counselor for more than a quarter century, has seen how childhoods have changed from play-based to screen-based, and he says there's a correlation between what happens online to a children's emotions.
Are based on visits to the ER with psychiatric crises involved, and so it definitely is a concern how much time kids spend on screens.
So that could be the worst of it. What's the trigger for girls?
Images online that are unrealistic, often AI generated. It creates unrealistic expectations about how things appear socially, but then of course related to body image. We have to be in tune with what our kids are seeing. Seeing images over and over and over that are not based in reality creates these false, inaccurate expectations and perceptions.
Exactly, like that photo of that most beautiful woman in the world that we were looking at.
Right.
I said, that's fake. And John's like fanboying over her.
She's a beautiful woman. Yeah.
I don't think she was real. And then here's this with boys, what their problem is with social media.
With boys, with social media, bullying has a greater level of intensity because there is this perceived being able to hide behind a screen, not being face-to-face, leads boys and anyone to increase their level of intensity with bullying.
Yeah, all of us can learn from that. What can parents do? He says, wait to allow your child to be on social media until what age?
Until they're at least 16. And that even includes having access to apps, phones in general. And by intentionally preventing access until kids are in high school, it allows them to build some maturity. It's not their device, it's our device. And so therefore, we can monitor and see what's happening.
So remind them who's paying for it. You're paying for it, not the child, so you can do what you want. You can go into the phone at any time for that matter. So again, that's Brad Schwal, a mental health expert with the Center for Counseling.org.
Good information. Charles Benson, TMJ4, had the chance to talk to the Transportation Secretary, Wisconsin's Sean Duffy. Charles with us live in the studio up next.
On Wisconsin's Morning News, we profile the average John or Jane Doe who had no idea when they got up one morning that they'd be saving a life, becoming everyday heroes.
Brian Lathrop, school bus driver, coming his way, a semi-truck in the other lane, and it's creeping over the center line.
Tried to get around him, see if I couldn't avoid him, and he ended up going right down the side of my bus. I don't feel that I'm a hero. I did just doing my job.
Everyday Hero, Thursdays at 6:40 on Wisconsin's Morning News, presented by Azura Memory Care and Assisted Living, transforming the culture of care.
John Mercure here for Landworks. Take a look outside and think about the yard of your dreams. What do you see? Thriving plant life, those immaculately edged beds, beautiful healthy blooms, maybe some really, really pretty pavers. Let me tell you who can do it for you. Landworks Wisconsin. I know because Landworks Wisconsin did my yard. I can't wait for spring and summer to get here so I can see the little surprises that pop up with all the cool plants that they put in my yard. It's Landworks Wisconsin. They've got the best people, craftsmen really. Their arborists and their horticulturalists are incredible. They're planners. They will design it for you, and they'll let you have whatever you want, and it's super affordable. It's Landworks Wisconsin. Check them out, landworkswisconsin.com.
At Gruber Law Offices, we take great pride in helping those who have trusted us after a serious accident. Our team has the knowledge, resources, and experience to get you the results you deserve. Don't wait to get the help you need. Make the right call. Call Gruber Law Offices today. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Bucks. One call, that's all.
Hi, I'm Jim Token, president of the Auto Dealers of Metro Milwaukee. Did you know that Adam members employ more than 7,500 people? Plus, Adam recently completed their 14th annual Feeding America Change Your Oil promotion. To date, Adam has donated over $875,000, which provided over 2.6 million meals. Start your next car search by finding an Adam member dealer at adam.com. That's ADAMM.com.
Traffic is sponsored by the Milwaukee Metro Boat Sale taking place this weekend at the Waukesha County Expo Center.
The Milwaukee Metro Boat Sale, this weekend at the Waukesha Expo Center. Over 60 boats on display, new and pre-owned boats, the best brands, the best pricing, free admission and parking. The Milwaukee Metro Boat Sale.
Traffic and weather, Debbie Lazaga. How are we?
Well, we got a new accident on 94 westbound at 25th Street. This one's blocking the left lane, so watch for the delays coming out of the Marquette interchange to that point. You'll be back on the brakes heading through the rest of the stadium interchange, too. 894 southbound at Beloit Road, the right lane blocked with a crash there. Backups basically from Greenfield Avenue all the way down to Beloit Road. And then we've got just general delays. Northbound 43 slowing down over the high-rise bridge all the way up to about Keith. Southbound's going to be slow just south of North Avenue all the way down through the Marquette as well. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
The WTMJ 5-day forecast. Tonight, increasing clouds, a low of 28. Tomorrow, light snow, a high of 37. Saturday, cloudy, 43. Sunday, mostly sunny, 50. Monday, sunny, a high of 56. It's currently 36. Wisconsin's Afternoon News podcast is sponsored by Dave Drakamp Heating. Your comfort is their family's tradition. Visit DaveDrakamp.com. Charles Benson is with us. Charles Benson is just back from Washington, D.C., TMJ4's chief political reporter. Charles, good to have you back in the studio.
Always great to be here with my two favorite people.
Yes,
we like to hear that. Too. Sean Duffy is really making a name for himself. The Wisconsin former congressman, former Fox News personality, is now the Secretary of Transportation.
Yep.
And you got to spend some time with him.
Yeah, I was really looking forward to this because, one, of the connection. You know, I had a lot of good conversations with him when he was a member of Congress. And what I mean by good conversations is you could sit down and talk to him around policy issues. You know, where do the Republicans stand? And then, you know, at that time, a lot of the times when he was in office, it was President Obama, but also President Trump came in at that time. So here he is with this now big responsibility with transportation. And look, you know, we saw what happened in the last couple of months around aviation and the concern there that, you know, as soon as he's in these things, these tragic aviation.
The D.C. situation within 24 hours.
Yeah. And so talked a little bit about that, but mainly sort of like what's he going to do? And, you know, there's been so much conversation around DOGE, around Elon Musk, around what should the size of the federal government be? You know, who's getting laid off? We see headline after headline around this situation.
Right.
Now, Secretary Duffy is still probably going to be in that area looking for more efficiency with fewer people. But there is one area where he is looking for more people. He wants more air traffic controllers, right? And that speaks to the safety of what's happening in the air traffic towers. Now, to me, it's kind of fascinating about that process because I didn't know much about it. But where do you think you go to get training to be an air traffic controller?
Houston, probably.
The military.
With, what?
There's only one school. One school.
An airline?
An academy school in Oklahoma.
So they all come from the same school?
Same place.
Really? That's pretty limited.
Yeah. So when you look at efficiency, when you look at, how do you create more air traffic controllers, I'm like, you got to go one place.
Wow, there's only so many of them then.
And right. So he's saying he's trying to, fix this problem is the term that he used. And so that's what he's one of the tasks that he's looking at. But I said, but why aren't you standing up more of these? I mean, look at the trade schools around the country, MATC, you name it. Everybody's got a trade school. And this does become a trade, right? It's a specific set of skills. It's not like you go to Marquette or you go to UWM and you're like, yeah, I graduated in philosophy. Now I'll become, if you do want to become an air traffic controller, you have to go to this academy.
Wow.
Yeah.
This one school. So how does he solve that problem?
So he's trying to streamline the process to get more people into this academy. Streamlining meaning you do have to meet some, certain metrics. You have to accomplish some of these things. And I said, that's another point. Colleges go around the country trying to recruit, students, the best and the brightest, or just, get kids interested. I said, so how does a kid in Milwaukee, how does a kid in rural Wisconsin know that they can be an air traffic controller? And he talks about the possibility of just trying to now find new creative ways to recruit more air traffic controllers.
You know what the pay is? CNN was reporting the pay of the average air traffic controller is $170.
Can you? That's another thing. 100. You walk out. I think you get paid too to train. There's and he bumped that up. So you walk out of that building. I think it's a 3-year program.
Yeah.
A $160,000, $170,000 a year job.
Yeah. So one of my daughter's best friends is an air traffic controller in Atlanta. And she's so stressed. It's very stressful.
Right. So
they don't have enough people, like you've already mentioned.
Yep.
So she's working mandatory overtime all the time. Hey, did you get the chance to see, when I went out and visited Tommy Thompson when he was in the cabinet, we went through the War Room and their command center, which is really, really cool.
Yeah.
Is there a version of that for the Department of Transportation?
The TOC, all right? The Transportation Operations Center. That's where we did the interview. So, it's kind of like the space you have here, desk with computers and then the big monitors up there. So, but if there's, they have that command center. That's where we did the interview. So I showed a little bit of it last night. I'm working on to do some other big things. And it's going to be interesting to me to see, again, he's looking at autonomous vehicles. He sees that as a national security issue. So where do we go there? What does that look like? Drones. Everybody's got a drone, right? Yep. So do we have the airspace capacity and the regulations or how to, move forward on those things? There's a lot of big topics in front of him on this issue. But look, the headlines right now are around Elon Musk. They're around, layoffs and firings and, where are we going with tariffs and taxes? There's a lot going on. But this was a chance to talk, and which is what I always enjoy in talking with all our lawmakers about policy, about what's going to happen. What's the issue going forward that looks different?
And so often with the transportation secretary, you only see him on TV when something bad happens. There's a train derailment, there's a plane crash, there's something like that. And we saw that with him. I mean, he immediately was thrown into the fire on multiple occasions.
And made it very clear from the beginning, he says all decisions on regulations or changing regulations, all the decisions on hiring and who's going to stay and who's not. He says safety, safety, safety. Yeah. Now, that's what you expect to hear. And that's what he's reinforcing as well.
Does he seem comfortable? Does he seem engaged? Is he into it?
It seemed like it. He was in the room for the the equivalent of a State of the Union speech. I saw him this morning. He's on. He does a lot of posting on X. So it looked like he was over at the White House again this morning for a cabinet meeting.
Did he talk about the president? How he is, and what?
And not from a personal standpoint or what kind of conversations they're having, but you can clearly see. Look, before this job, he was advocating the position of the Republicans and President Trump, right, as a commentator on Fox News, and as a Republican member of Congress. He also strongly talked about a lot of the things that President Trump supports about. So you would expect him to be all in, and he is all in.
And to his credit, the way he was voted in was pretty good. Besides Marco Rubio,
He got
getting
about
more.
70 plus votes,
Yeah,
right? So
really good.
that means a bipartisan. And he had Senator Baldwin and Senator Johnson both introduce them, and both, and especially Senator Baldwin, the Democrat, talked about his bipartisan efforts to build this big bridge up. And
That's a big deal.
It is. So he has found, and also transportation dollars, because one of the things I asked him about, and it'll be coming up in a story, I said, governors, mayors, county executives, they love transportation dollars, right? So it's like, bring them in. He doesn't have control over most of them. It's Congress and the budgeting process.
But he has influence.
He has influence. And so it will be interesting to see where he goes with these dollars. But, what I saw one of the headlines today, Elon Musk talking about Amtrak, and it's like, well, that's Duffy's territory, okay? So we'll see how that works out.
Charles Benson is chief political reporter at TMJ4 News and Script News senior national political reporter. Great information. Good to have you back, Charles. Thank you.
Great to be here.
It is 5:24 at WTMJ, the WTMJ Annex Wealth Management Market Update. The S&P was off 104 points. The Dow was down 427. The NASDAQ was off 483. Annex Wealth Management know the difference.
If you're a woman looking to take control of your financial future, you are not alone. Women are leading the way in business and managing household finances, but challenges still exist. That's why Annex Wealth Management presents the Women of Wealth series every third Thursday. It'll empower you with knowledge and resources to succeed. Join us for collaborative discussions, community building, and learn about key areas of financial planning. Women of Wealth events are free every third Thursday. Sign up at annexwealth.com/events and bring a friend.
Are you ready to embark on a voyage like no other? At Fox World Travel, our specialty cruise desk creates unforgettable cruise experiences just for you. Explore the serene Mediterranean, the exotic Caribbean, or the breathtaking beauty of Alaska. We partner with top cruise lines including Celebrity, Holland America, Royal Caribbean, and Viking. Enjoy personalized itineraries, exclusive deals, and expert guidance. From booking to boarding, we manage all the details for a stress-free experience. Call 866-GO-FOX-GO, press 2, and mention code RADIO to start planning.
Visit family-owned Ken Michaels Furniture and our in-store design centers where you'll still find beautiful, luxurious, heirloom-quality American-made furniture. Right now, save 30 to 35% store-wide and take advantage of our complimentary design services. Whether you're moving, renovating, or updating, our designers will help your vision become a reality. Visit Ken Michaels Furniture in Brookfield on Capitol Drive and in Greenfield on Highway 100 to save 30 to 35% store-wide today. Sleep better and save more with mattresses from Milwaukee Mattress and Ken Michaels Furniture. Handcrafted in our Milwaukee factory, our mattresses utilize natural materials like cotton cushioning, which dissipates body heat, Joma wool quilts for warm wintry nights and cool summer evenings, and natural latex providing superior conformability and pressure relief for aching joints. Stop in today at any Ken Michaels Furniture store and save up to 50% compared to national brands.
Spas. The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show is this weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Millions of inventory must be sold. Prices are slashed up to 60% off retail, so save thousands. Save big on new hot tubs, spas, and saunas. Also cold tubs. Plus, see the Michael Phelps Signature Swim Spas by Master Spas.
Hi, I'm Michael Phelps. Join the swimming revolution.
The Swim Spa Hot Tub and Sauna Show this weekend only inside the arena at the Waukesha County Fairgrounds. Visit 800spasale.com.
Hey, John Mercure here. Our home has become our happy place, thanks in large part to CertaPro Painters. They came out, they did a big job, and they did it big time right. It's CertaPro Painters. Right now's the time. Call and check out their spring sales event going on now through May 15th. Schedule your free estimate online at CertaPro.com. That's Certa with a C. They will transform your house inside and outside. Each CertaPro Painter's business is independently owned and operated. When choosing a painting professional, the choice is simple. Choose happy. Choose CertaPro Painters.
For over a century, local broadcasting has evolved with the needs of the community. We move past the stigmas of opinion journalism and bring the most relevant news online, on air, and on the go. You have trusted us with your news, sports, weather, and entertainment. Trust us to keep moving with you. Text RADIO to 52886 and tell Congress local broadcasting is here to stay.
Hi folks, this is Hank Albert, owner of BBC Lighting.
At BBC, we sell all the top brands of lights and ceiling fans, such as Visual Comfort, Tech, Schoenbeck Crystal, and hundreds more. We get every brand, and our prices are the lowest. I guarantee it. In our award-winning showroom, you'll also find factory closeouts with lights and fans priced well below their original cost. If it's lampshades or repairs you need, we do all that too. There's something for everyone at BBC, including fun for the kids and our famous free popcorn. We're open Monday through Friday, 9 to 5, Saturday, 10 to 4, and located at 20th and St. Paul Avenue, across from Sobelman's, near the Potawatomi Casino. Stay safe and healthy, my friends.
Hey, I love my dogs, Bella and Baxter. They're like the kids in our house now that Amy and Kara aren't there anymore. And a lot like raising kids, I found my dogs don't always listen to me. Yeah, that was Amy and Kara, too. Didn't always listen. Turned out okay, though. I started working with Matt at Sit Means Sit Dog Training. They are absolutely awesome at Sit Means Sit. We've had a great experience, even better results. Our dogs are better behaved. As a client, I know the good work that Sit Means Sit does every day, and I trust them. You, too, can have a happy, confident, obedient dog. Check out Sit Means Sit Dog Training.
Traffic is sponsored by Angela Calais and Benefit Realty.
At Benefit Realty, pay only 3.5 to 3.9% real estate commission and get all the service that you should. Benefit Realty, you pay less for full service. Benefit-realty.com.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on Wisconsin's radio station, News Radio WTMJ.
It's 5:30. I'm John Mercure. Your top story: felony charges for a Racine County teenager.
I'm Julia Fellow, reviewing an order to shut down the Department of Education.
I'm Debbie Lazaga. We got troubles. Westbound 794 right in the Marquette. We've got the right shoulder blocked with a crash. A little bit further on, right about at 25th Street, we've got the left lane blocked with yet another accident. Obviously, delays going all the way through to about Hawley Road. We've got big delays southbound 894, basically out of the Zoo interchange all the way down to Beloit Road, where there's an accident with the two right lanes blocked, and so it's going to be solid all the way back to the Zoo. Eastbound 94, watch for backups from 92nd Street all the way through to about 35th Street. And then on 43 northbound, backed up out of the Marquette interchange all the way up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
Clouds roll in tonight, a low of 28. Tomorrow, a chance of light snow south of I-94. Mostly cloudy, though. For the rest of us, a high of 37. Right now, it's 36 degrees in Milwaukee.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a pair of high-profile court appearances this afternoon. Slenderman stabber Morgan Geyser back in a Waukesha County court as the State Department of Health Services petitions to stop her conditional release. Today, testimony about books that Geyser's reading and drawings that she's making and a man involved in her life. A judge has ordered the same three medical experts who testified in a hearing in January to conduct new evaluations. The hearing is ongoing. We'll let you know of any developments.
Earlier this afternoon, a plea hearing in Milwaukee for one of four men connected to the death of a man outside a downtown Milwaukee hotel. He died this past summer. Brandon Turner pled guilty in the death of Devontae Mitchell. He's one of three suspects to accept a plea deal. The other two, Herbert Williamson and Devin Johnson Carson, returned to court later this month. The fourth suspect, Todd Erickson, heads to trial later this summer. Turner's sentencing is set for the fall.
A 15-year-old accused of stabbing his mother to death in their Caledonia home is charged with first-degree intentional homicide. Reed Galinsky's been charged in adult court. The death of his mother this week. Bond has been set at $1 million.
A seventh inmate now dead in the Waupun Correctional Institution. Dodge County Sheriff Dale Schmidt tells Wisconsin's Afternoon News how prisons in Wisconsin need to change.
The prisons need to be inspected. Every jail in the state of Wisconsin is inspected by the Department of Corrections. Not one of the prisons in the state of Wisconsin are inspected. The wardens are responsible for making sure they're maintaining that. You need to have an outside source come in and do those things.
Sheriff Schmidt says outdated prison facilities either need to be closed, replaced, or renovated.
Nationally, President Trump today partly altering his tariff strategy against major trading partners. The Hill's White House correspondent Alex Jan DeTono.
He had a call with the Mexican president earlier today, and he was able to give her a 1-month delay and say on products that are part of the USMCA deal, doubling down on criticism of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau and not backing down on tariffs on Canada.
According to the president, reciprocal tariffs against any country will go into effect on April 2nd.
The Trump administration reportedly reviewing an order that would shut down the Department of Education. President Trump could sign the order this week after telling reporters today that education policy should be handled by individual states.
They're going to do a lot better than somebody sitting in Washington, D.C. that couldn't care less.
Fully eliminating the department would require Congress to act.
Here in Milwaukee, as MPS works on its restructuring, Superintendent Dr. Brenda Casalius is set to begin working March 15th, 4 months ahead of schedule. Greater Milwaukee Committee President Joel Brennan tells WTMJ what Casalius is doing to make sure she starts strong leading MPS.
She's starting with surrounding herself with a team. She's got people who she's looking at, who she's worked with over the course of the rest of her career, who she wants to bring to Milwaukee. So I think it's about surrounding herself with real capable people and then integrating herself into the community in ways that she can get the support she needs to make the changes that are necessary inside MPS.
Top priorities are likely to be dealing with school resource officers, high lead dust in some schools, and a long-range facilities master plan.
A celebration of life for Bob Uecker is planned for late summer. The Brewers president of business operations, Rick Schlesinger, tells WTMJ the event during a regular season game will reflect on Mr. Baseball.
We would want to have speakers that can, talk about each segment of Bob's life. There'll certainly be celebrities. We'll see what's available. The whole game will sort of be a homage, if you will, to Bob and his body of work.
Uecker died in January of small cell lung cancer at the age of 90.
The final results are in for the U.S. Cheese Championships in Green Bay. The aged Gouda, made by Arethusa Farm Dairy in Bantam, Connecticut, bested 2,400 other entries, winning. There was a Wisconsin Parmesan that also finished in the top 3. 31 U.S. states competed in this year's championship, with 55 best-of-class finishes earned by Wisconsin master cheesemakers.
Time for a WTMJ sports update from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All sports desk. On the day, Brewers pitcher DL Hall was placed on a 60-day injured list. Brewers announced the signing of veteran left-handed pitcher Jose Quintana.
If you feel like you've heard the name Jose Quintana a lot against the Brewers, you're not alone.
I guarantee he started 20 games against us.
22 times he faced the Milwaukee Brewers, and most recently, he faced the Brewers in their last game of 2024, Game 3 of the Wild Card Series.
I had a pit in my stomach for all 22.
But Jose Quintana is excited to join what he calls a hungry group.
I saw how electric they are, how hungry they play the game, and that was the most impressive thing.
From American Family Fields of Phoenix, I'm Dominic Cotroneo.
Brewers take on the A's tonight in Cactus League action. Coverage begins after the 7 o'clock news right here on WTMJ. Tournament basketball in Milwaukee tonight as the Panthers host the Oakland in Horizon League Tournament at the Klotchke Center. Hear the game on 101.7 The Truth at 7 o'clock.
Outdoor Living Unlimited WTMJ News Time, 5:36.
WTMJ's Eric Bilstead here for QC Kinetics. I get a lot of questions about QC Kinetics treatments, people asking if they should consider it for their own joint pain. Well, here's how you know. If you answer yes to any of these questions. Is your quality of life impacted by chronic pain in your knees or hips or shoulders or other joints, trouble sleeping or walking? Do you want to avoid surgery, a long recovery, and uncertainty that comes with it? And most importantly, do you miss doing the things you love because joint pain is holding you back? If you answered yes to any of these questions, don't wait. Call now. Call QC Kinetics and ask for your free consultation and learn how the latest advances in regenerative medicine can help you get lasting relief. No drugs, no surgery, no downtime. 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today for your free consultation. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474. Call QC Kinetics today.
Wisconsin's afternoon news on WTMJ.
Hey, Chief Meteorologist Brian Doznansky is with us. You ought to watch the show. You can text the word watch to 855-616-1620. You can see our cameras fired up. You can see Julia. She's lovely as always.
And Brian has
Brian
great
Doznansky is with us as well.
John, you have good fashion today, too.
Oh, thank you. I'm trying to just keep up with you. Niz, how are you?
What's up? I'm doing good, guys. How you doing?
You always look good. He's always the best dressed.
Hey guys, now I will blush because I'm on camera here on the
That's right.
on the video stream. Yeah.
Hey, we saw something very interesting today. We wanted you to weigh in on. When we treat our roads, it's salt sometimes, it's sand in some parts of the country. And in one county, Julia, what county was it?
Greene County.
They're using cheese brine. Cheese brine. Otherwise, this stuff
Really?
goes to waste, I think.
Cheese brine.
Yeah.
Well, I can tell you right now, I'm not an expert on cheese brine. I don't even know what or how that could even
Are there
what that's
where
doing
some
out there.
of this stuff works and some doesn't, like where salt works or with the chemicals work or don't work?
And that's why there's a lot of times it's not like pure salt and it's more of a salt substitute. Maybe some of that stuff is a little bit better for when it's like super cold outside. Maybe it's even a little bit better for the environment. I know municipalities, they weigh all of that as far as, what is going to eventually go back into our storm drains and eventually our waterways as well. But it has to be effective.
That's true. There's two more. Want to know two more?
Yes.
Beet
What
juice.
is it? Oh, I've heard of that one.
Me too. It looks like blood on the ground.
Yeah, no kidding.
And then molasses. Have you heard of that one?
Oh, my gosh. Wouldn't that be a mess on your wheels?
I thought so.
Yeah. Could you imagine trying to get that off at a car wash? I mean, it's bad enough trying to get salt off.
You pull into the garage
Ew, what
and
if
you
it
leave that on your
stinks
garage
with
floor?
the cheese brine too. I wasn't thinking of that. Gross.
I'm
it's
just
like
wondering,
a
like-
byproduct. It's a cheese byproduct.
Okay.
It would otherwise be thrown out.
I'm just curious what's in the cheese product and in the beet juice that is actually
It's
melting
salty.
ice.
It's salty. It's a salty solution. That's why.
Gotcha.
All
Okay.
right. Hey, Niz, what are we looking at for the next couple of days? Let's move on to actual weather. Something you really do know a lot about.
You looked for me to be the expert, but it sounds like Julia is the expert on this one.
Google's the expert.
Yeah, it is kind of unfair. We bring Niz in. We expect her to be the expert on like astronomy, brine.
It's okay. You should have seen this other guy that we were interviewing today. It was all written down. He was acting like he was never. Oh, that's an interesting question. I never heard that before.
Yeah. Even though he provided us with the information. Anyhow. All right.
Yes.
What are we looking at weather-wise the next couple of days?
Sure. So we're watching already another storm system that's approaching from the west, and this is starting to get a little bigger and bigger and bigger. Now, I don't think it's going to be a major winter storm for us. However, I think locations from, let's say, downtown Milwaukee out to Waukesha, Jefferson County, so basically I-94 and south, has a pretty good chance that we're going to see some snow and a wintry mix for tomorrow. Now, this probably comes in late morning, 9, 10 o'clock, continues through most of the day, and then tapers off tomorrow evening. Temperatures are going to be above freezing for most of this. So I really think locations, even that do see the snow, we're probably talking up to an inch of accumulation. That's it. So a high temperature, 37 tomorrow. Saturday, chance of flurries in the morning, then becoming mostly sunny up to 45. Sunday, 51 degrees, looks beautiful. And then Monday, up to 57 degrees with a mostly sunny sky and also windy. We can make our first run at 60 degrees next week, guys. We'll see if that happens Monday or Tuesday.
That sounds good. Chief Meteorologist Brian Desnansky, the cheese brine expert. Thanks,
Yes,
Niz.
I eat a lot of cheese, that's for sure.
Me too.
See you guys.
See you tomorrow. It's 5:42 at WTMJ. When we're out in your town, come say hi to us as we broadcast live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
Anytime you hear us when we're out on the road, you can find us live from our brand new mobile studio.
Whether it be Summerfest, EAA, Opening Day, Air and Water Show, wherever we may be, you can see us on the radio, live from the Pella Windows and Doors of Wisconsin mobile studio.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
We are Wisconsin's radio station.
WTMJ. From the biggest plays on the court to the comments made in the locker room after, an in-depth recap of every Bucks game in 6 minutes. No more, no less. Bucks in 6 provides game recaps for every game. Hear the high-flying dunks from Giannis.
Puts it on the floor, spins down the lane, and plunges it through.
Or the deep threes from Dame.
Dame time has arrived with 107.
Bucks in 6 on the Bucks Plus Audio Network. Find it now on bucks.com/plus or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Hey, Fox and Hounds wants to tell you about the Lenten season. It's here. You can enjoy the fabulous Friday fish fry at the historic Fox and Hounds Supper Club. I love the Fox and Hounds fish fry. It's all you can eat. It's one of the best. All other dinners are buy one, get one free tonight and this weekend. The pan-fried walleye, the salmon, scallops, pasta, a big fresh salad, even the steak and lobster. Your second dinner is always free. Desserts and huge ice cream drinks. I love their chocolate cake with the ice cream. Buy one dessert, get one free. Unwind beforehand with an old-fashioned, over 20 bourbons, 100 wines from around the world. They've got 8 unique dining rooms with fireplaces in each one. The Fox and Hounds, right in the Kettle Moraine Forest near Holy Hill. It is spectacular. Saturday, check this out. Your second prime rib dinner is free. I urge you to try the Friday Lenten fish fry. All other dinners are buy one, get one free. Just off Highway 167. It's so easy to get to. Call and reserve today. FoxandHoundsRestaurant.com. It's the famous Fox and Hounds.
James Imaging Systems. Local support, local accountability, local business technology representatives. Listen to Matheson Manufacturing President Al Leidinger.
She still checks in to see how things are going and if we need anything. So I really do appreciate that from a customer service standpoint.
Michael Quizan, IT Systems Administrator at Great Midwest Bank, discovered the benefits of working with the local team at James.
Our cost from supplies perspective went down. I mean, we're talking about thousands in a year. So we saved a lot of money by bringing James Imaging on.
James Imaging Systems client Luther Gray, Director of Ticket Operations and Group Sales with the Milwaukee Symphony Orchestra, on dealing with James.
They are making sure you get the full value and life of every product that you have with them.
Local support, local accountability, local people. Get it all with James Imaging Systems, your local business technology partner. Call 262-781-7700 or visit jamesimaging.com.
Traffic is sponsored by St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores. Highway 100 and Layton Avenue in Greenfield. 23rd and Lincoln and 76th and Bradley Road in Milwaukee. Great bargains and a great cause. You're gonna love it. St. Vincent de Paul Thrift Stores.
You love her twice as much today as the day you married her, right?
Welcome to Kessler's.
Let's get you ready to safely with our Debbie Lazaga.
Okay, well, here's what we got going on. 794 westbound, right in the Marquette. We've got a crash off on the right shoulder. A little bit further on, around 25th Street on westbound 94, the left lane's blocked with a crash there. And we've also got this other one on southbound 894 at Beloit Road. That one has the 2 right lanes blocked, making for a nasty old ride all the way back through the Zoo interchange to about Blue Mound Road is where those backups start. So heads up with that. You might want to avoid 894 at this point because it's just going to be a nasty slow ride. On eastbound 94, basically from 84th Street all the way through to 35th, your usual delays there. Westbound does have continuing delays all the way out to about 68th Street. Southbound 43 slowing from Locust all the way down through the Marquette to the KK River. Northbound slow from the Marquette up to Keefe. I'm Debbie Lazaga with your WTMJ Johnson & Sons Paving Time Saver Traffic.
From the WTMJ Breaking News Center, a decision has been made in the Morgan Geyser case. She's connected to the Slumber Man stabbing one of 2 girls that stabbed her classmate. We've been following this all day. Jessica Gatzow has been in the newsroom and is with us in the studio. Jessica, bring us up to speed. What happened?
So about a month ago, Morgan Geyser petitioned to have conditional release from the Winnebago Mental Health Institution, and Judge Michael Boren did grant her that release, but then there was a last-minute filing from the state to revoke that, and Judge Michael Boren in Waukesha County Court just came down with that decision.
The state has not met its burden by clear and convincing evidence to show that Ms. Geyser is a risk of safety to herself, danger to herself, or danger to others, or danger to property. On that basis, I'll deny the petition to revoke the conditional release. I will dismiss it so ordered.
So Judge Boren denied the petition, and they will actually go through with the conditional release for Morgan Geyser. He set the next hearing for March 21st. That's when he wants a conditional release plan to be set. And throughout the arguments today, we heard from her medical team, again, her doctors, her psychiatrists, and the arguments were centered around a book she was reading that was concerned, and also this person she had contact with, and Judge Boren decided that that was also not enough grounds for it.
Ms. Geyser developed a sense of what the person was really about. She stopped contact. There's nothing in the record that shows that she did anything to encourage the person beyond sending him some pictures and doing things like that, which she probably shouldn't have done. But I don't see that in and of itself as a reason to find that she's at risk for herself or at risk to harm the community.
Wow, fascinating stuff. Okay, so did she react at all? Did her or her attorney give any visible reaction to what happened?
Nothing, not very much. Their backs were turned with the camera in court today, but if anything, they were kind of, it looked like maybe a minor bit of celebration as the decision was coming down.
But pretty restrained.
Restrained would be a good way to put it.
WTMJ's Jessica Gatzow. Thank you, Jessica.
Thanks for having me.
For the latest, check out WTMJ.com or the WTMJ mobile app.
Happy Friday Eve. I don't know if you have ginseng often, but I do as a supplement.
Yeah.
It's an incredible plant.
Yep.
It's been used in medicinal purposes for thousands of years for boosted energy, improving your brain and immune health. It thrives in a Goldilocks zone. Maybe you don't know this. Of 43 to 45 degrees latitude. And that's from about Milwaukee to Wausau. So it's pretty cool.
Perfect.
With the 10% tariff against China, Will Su of Su Ginseng Farm in Wausau worries about more retaliatory tariffs. How much of what you grow goes to Asia or China?
I would say of the total Wisconsin ginseng crop, 90% up to 95% of Wisconsin's ginseng crop is sold in China. That would include Taiwan and Hong Kong.
So how is this impacting your business? I mean, does it start? I guess it starts right now, right? As soon as you start shipping it out?
Yeah, but it started back in 2018 during the first phase of this trade war. And so the tariffs starting back in 2018 with the first phase of the trade war haven't been repealed since then. So we've been dealing with this now for 7 years, and it's just a continuation of the status quo. Maybe it's gotten worse because we're escalating it again after a few years of not really changing anything and not de-escalating either. But we seem to be ramping up the tariffs again on both sides.
Okay, so get us up to date on what happened in 2018 to refresh everybody's memory.
Yeah, so in 2018, tariffs on ginseng went from roughly 12 or 13% to as high as 43%. And then in the final stages of Trump's first presidency, he negotiated a deal that repealed the last 10%, meaning Chinese importers could ask for an exemption for the final 10% of tariffs that were charged on ginseng imported into China prior to him leaving office. So that brought the rate down to about 32 or 33%, where it stands to this day. I haven't seen the latest release on which products and which categories of agriculture will be have a retaliatory tariff placed on them by China, and whether or not that includes ginseng. But currently it's 33%.
So you're feeling the brunt of the 33%.
Yeah, what we've seen is prices here decrease since 2018 by roughly that tariff. Tariff in some ways has been passed back to the farmers, and this is one way countries deal with tariffs, is they push back on the suppliers or the vendors or the producers, in this case ginseng, and ask them to basically subsidize the tariff, to take a lower price on the goods so that the consumer in the importing country doesn't have to pay more. I'm sure that's the intent with some of Trump's proposed tariffs to Canada, Mexico, and China, is that he's hoping that those producers in those countries will either take a lower price for their product to offset the tariff, or that they will come to the negotiating table and hammer out a new deal.
So the tariff that you're dealing with is 33%. Now that there's the 10% tariff against China, how much more could the retaliatory go up to again?
It would be back up to that prior level of back in 2022 of 42.5%, or 2021 of 42.5% or 43%.
How do you deal with that if it's at 43% tariff?
You don't import as much to China, and you don't export it. You don't import as much into China. You don't export as much to China. That's really how you deal with it. The idea, I think, is to try to bring people to the negotiating table, or have exporters find new markets. That might work for some products that we make here in the U.S. that are appealing to people all over the world. Unfortunately, ginseng in particular, the major customer for ginseng is Chinese consumers. We're down to fewer than 85 families or farmers here in central Wisconsin growing ginseng. When I came back to the business 15 years ago in 2011, we had over 250 farms and farmers growing
Oh my
ginseng in central
goodness.
Wisconsin.
Wow, that's a
So,
huge decrease. So
yep.
it's 90% of your business. So how are you going to pivot? There is none for you.
So I think what you're seeing, what has happened over the last 6 or 7 years since the first phase of the trade war, is you are seeing a gradual decline in the numbers, or actually not even a gradual, market decline in the number of farmers growing ginseng, and also a lesser decline in the actual output and production, because this crop takes 4 to 5 years to reach maturity. So it's harder to cut production immediately. But you are going to see farmers, and we have seen farmers planting fewer and fewer acres, and there's fewer and fewer farmers. So the overall supply goes down to try to offset the decrease in demand caused by the artificial price levels caused by tariffs. So it's basic economics that all of us took in college, which is if you put in an artificial price increase, namely tariffs, then the supply and demand equilibrium will have to balance out. And the supply, as the demand decreases due to the higher prices caused by tariffs overseas, then you have to reduce supply. And that's what we're seeing.
Is that what you're going to do?
Yeah, I think in general, most of us are producing less. We are selling less. We have fewer staff. We are just shrinking as an industry. My biggest concern, having come back to this and not being my dad's age, my dad's 82 and retired, being, in my 40s, is there's really not a future in this industry for us, and we may just have to go find something else to do.
Oh, I hate to hear that, because I interviewed your dad back more than 10 years ago in 2009, and
we've been doing
loves
this for
you.
50 years.
Wow.
My
That is
dad
so hard to
started this
hear.
business in 1974, and but family farms in Wisconsin are disappearing, and this is part of that. As agriculture has changed, as industries have gotten bigger, as corporations have gotten larger and involved in agriculture, family farms such as ours just become less relevant and less needed, especially when you start talking about it at the international level on things that we can't impact. I can't change our foreign policy. I can't change our trade policy. We can grow the best ginseng in the world, but if we can't get it into consumers' hands, it doesn't matter.
I'll leave it with this. What do you hope happens with the trade war in China?
I hope that we return to some normalcy, but I'm not optimistic. I think we are entering an era where kind of liberal trade policy and free trade isn't the mantra of the Republican Party and really isn't the mantra of the United States. So we're retrenching. We're trying to bring jobs back to the United States and bolster the local economy, which is great for the United States and for workers here in the United States. But unfortunately, those of us who are dependent on exports, dependent on foreign markets, it likely means there's not much of a future in it, at least for this generation and possibly the next generation.
Wow. Will Sue with the Sue Ginseng Farm in Wausau, thank you so much for joining us.
Yeah, no problem.
And we will be following the story and how it affects all of us here in Wisconsin as the days and weeks progress.
These are your business headlines from the Milwaukee Business Journal.